got classics, we got new stories, wild worlds to view. Samurai, swords to Mechamite, every episode ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go, feel the hype, it's about to flow. Anime unlock, turn it up, energy blast, fill your cup. Anime unlock, turn it up, energy blast, fill your cup. Old school, new school, never stop. It's a vibe, it's a drop, it's a bop, bop, bop. From the ninjas in the hit and miss to the stars where the myths exist. Villains rise, heroes fight, we're breaking it down every night. Enemy dreams in neon glow, unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams. We got new stories, wild worlds to view. Samurai, swords to Mechamite, every episode ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go, feel the hype, it's about to flow. Samurai sword, ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go, feel the hype, it's about to flow. To view, samurai swords to met the night. Every episode ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go, feel the hype, it's about to fall. Old school, new school, never stop. It's a vibe, it's a drop, it's a bop, bop, bop. From the ninjas in the hidden mist to the stars where the myths exist. Villains rise, heroes fight, we're breaking it down every night. Anime dreams in neon glow, unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams. Lights flash, feel the bass, feel the smash. Black David Wally in the zone. Anime, you're locked, you're not alone. We got classics, we got new stories, wild worlds to view. Samurai swords to Mechamite, every episode ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go, feel the hype, it's about to flow. Samurai swords to Mechamite, every episode ignite the night. Power up, get ready to go, feel the hype, it's about to flow. Anime unlock, turn it up, energy blast, fill your cup. Old school, new school, never stop. It's a vibe, it's a drop, it's a pop, pop, pop. From the ninjas in the hidden mist to the stars where the myths exist. Villains rise, heroes fight, we're breaking it down every night. Anime dreams in neon glow, unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams. Anime dreams in neon glow, unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams. Anime dreams in neon glow, unfold the tales you need to know. From action-packed to heartfelt scenes, we're unlocking all your dreams.
Good evening. What's going on? How's everybody else doing? Um, hear me? Please put a one in the chat if you can hear my mic. Let me know. See what
Oh, I can hear it.
the heck is going on right now. Uh,
Yeah, it sounds like you're on a lag.
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Like check. Crazy. You guys hear us?
All right, everybody, give David some time. He's rebooting. He's working on that lag. I don't know. I guess something just popped off. But real quick, you guys. Yeah, what's going on, Craig? Welcome. So, as you guys know, this is going to be the epic fight between Superman versus Goku. Okay. So we're gonna do the epic fight between Superman versus Goku, and then we're pretty much gonna break down who would win between the two in a fight, and all that stuff. And we're gonna break down certain scenarios and all that thing. But once David gets back, that's what we will start doing that's what we'll start doing at that time as he comes back in here. But other than that, hopefully everybody, hope you guys got a have a good day, good week overall. So yeah, yeah. Give me a moment, you guys. Just give me a moment. What's going on, Marietta? Thank you for coming on in. Yeah, we're waiting for David. He's gonna take like 5 minutes before he can come in. He's just rebooting, so give him some time. Sorry, I forgot I'm muted.
I was doing
Okay, there you go.
I was doing so much then my computer I did
I do
it
all right.
here what's going on guys, ladies and gentlemen. I did a window update recently. New Microsoft Windows 25 H2. I was thinking that port to fix whatever updates to update did. So I'll get the show ready, get everything done ready whatsoever. Then somewhere my PC started to act weird. So Craig, how you doing? Sorry about that. Mariana, I'm glad you were here. The resident encyclopedia over the anime show. You know who he is, Eric. How you doing? So forgive me, guys. I'm not too happy how thing was going for me. I'm not because I was ready for the smoke. I was ready for the heat. I was ready for the shenanigan. But this
Mostly
is
the
a
shenanigans.
yeah. This is one of those debate topics where I would say it struck a chord on multiple levels. It got me looking at the what people think was going to happen. I was like, really? Sure, Wally have been there to these
This is
debate.
well, no, what? Nope, not really. I don't care about this. Do the other way.
So should we do it this way tonight
No, do the other
or?
way. For what? Oh no, this is gonna only be a quick introduction. I'm not. This is not gonna stay up long. If you have it, you pretty much have your notes. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
like that. Now, Wale, I'll give Wale prop because Wale is good at what he does. Our show logo is on
Good question
the
for Wally.
left hand side, while the channel logo, which is I like I did it on the right hand side. So I'm hoping that in future reference we get some merch for our channel and we unlock. That's what's up. Well, the prop when he needed. Quick question, Wally.
No, Eric, I will not. As you, I don't know, Eric, if you know, I'm in Florida, so yeah, I will not be there.
Unless you can send Nimbus for him.
Yeah, last time I checked, Nimbus operation systems may not compute with my. So
I think there's a requirement for Nimbus to operate. That's what he referring to. You
yeah,
gotta be pure spirit. You can't be.
not saying I'm not pure spirit, but let's be real here. I mean, in fairness and all things of life, eh,
Me either. I'm too grimy, so I don't think Nimbus will pick me up either. They will look at me like, "Gotta be kidding me, you." No, thank you. So, Wale, so how you gonna start this show off?
Don't be sorry, Eric. That's just part of the life. And plus, I wasn't at this point in time. I wouldn't be able to if I could. So it would make no difference. No, I mean, yeah, just read the introduction. After that, we'll just go into the terminology, the terms of how we're going to do this, and then this can be
Okay,
dropped afterwards.
no problem. If you want to do that, that's fine. So should we go to the slide.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just say it. Okay, let me go to the slide.
yeah. Just read
Introduction.
it and call it a day.
The legendary class is not a modern creation. It is a debate that has simmered for decades. Yeah, really. Rooted in a striking parallel and fundamental difference between two characters. Superman from DC Comic and from the comic arena, and Goku, the icon in the anime arena, were both alien infants sent from a dying world to Earth, where they were raised by a kind-hearted human, becoming the planet's greatest protector. This fundamentally similarity immediately sparked the question in the mind of fans of both characters grew in power and popularity in their respected media, aka DT Comic and Dragon Ball. What began as a simple playground argument, it wasn't that simple. Let's leave it at that.
Of course, this is why you read the rest of the text.
What it's with simple playground argument evolved into one of the most prominent, yes, hotly contested matchup in all of fiction, fueling the entire genre of power scaling
Which
and
Dragon Ball has
ignited.
probably one of.
Yeah, the power scaling part is a big issue. And igniting crossover debate across the internet. Let's say it's across the internet, across the mobile phone, across social media, across workspace, across the church, across whatever you want to get down with that one. It does that. It is a historical showdown that pit pure and solar fuel might against the ultimate potential of a senior warrior spirit. So you need to block the sun. Let's play. This discussion truly erupted and became a global internet phenomenon after two fandoms clashed over who possessed the greater power. That is very, very true. Really, really true. Superman represents the Western idea of the virtually limited hero whose strength is often written to be as great as the crisis demands. Hmm, interesting point. But Goku embodies the Eastern philosophy of continuous growth and overcoming limits through discipline, training, and the love of combat. This right here is something that anyone who is a fan of the Dragon Ball franchise, which include Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, got to include Dragon Ball Kai, which sucks.
I mean, do we really
Dragon
have to
Ball,
mention Kai because Kai is still Z? You don't
I
really
know
matter.
it's Z, but it's the bullshit. I know. Dragon Ball Super, you have Dragon Ball Superhero, you have what else? Dragon Ball Daima now fall into the mix.
Which is pretty much
That's
between
all.
Z and Super.
That's all on the Dragon Ball shit. Now when it comes to Superman, I wonder how many edition or version of you referring to based on which writer?
There's a boatload. I mean, there's a boatload of them, which is why I'm not wasting my time with this one. But even then, those versions that you just spoke of, those are not really that much different, other than this time of age. But yeah.
And I agree with you on that part.
But with that
I
said,
was trying to
so
figure out how, because the thing is, I'm looking at how do we rate the power level? No, the power level rating on Dragon Ball is not the same that you do the power level
well,
in
first things
Marvel.
first. Let's get one other thing straight here. The determine. Oh my god! I don't know what's wrong with my camera. Literally, the heck.
I'm not trying to tell you you haven't paid your bills yet.
No,
We work for you
my
long
camera's
enough.
freaking webcam, and it's a freaking pain in the butt. I swear, between the ports and this port, it's always a pain in my behind. Every single time. And then I wonder what. I swear, this thing. Hold on.
But while we waiting for you to put your camera, I got a question. But I put my assistant to some rigorous, how you want to say, assignment. I'm an abuser. Whoa. Hold on, Craig. What is all this? Dave, your face was funny the other day when I was on when I showed my DVD box. Yeah, here's the problem. When Craig went into collection mode, I've been through this before. See what happened while he was on the camera. I was invited on a panel on DJ Hemp, right? And they had an episode concerning nerds, what we are into, what we like, and then some, right? Okay, fine. I was showing him my collection, right? Now, no offense, the Night Rider collection are the hard to get collection. That is the ultimate nerd collection. I'm not gonna lie. But there's also other collection on the anime side thing what I was getting and I was trying to build over time. That's where the movies. So when I saw Craig showcase his Knight Rider collectible, which is considered to be highly rare, I give him that look like, huh? Where in the hell did you get that from? Like, but I know if you were to build it to Comic Con and people were looking for that collectible, they couldn't find it, and they saw that he had it. There's a good chance he can leave away almost, I don't know, maybe 5 grand, 10 grand, depending how hungry people may want that from him, because that is very good collectible. So yeah, I had a funny face. I'm allowed to. And yes, Eric is correct. Don't forget the Dragon Ball junkies. Oh, there's a lot of Dragon Ball junkies, Eric. We got one in particular. Her name is Black Boomer. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. She's on YouTube. She is what I would consider maybe president of the Dragon Ball franchise fan base. You really go. When I think she go hard on this one. I'm correct. She got a Vegeta tattoo on her thigh. I was like, damn. I didn't go to that level yet. Oh, Wally, I might have some technical difficulties when we come back. So we got people. When I say who are real diehard fan of Dragon Ball franchise, I'll say they're not playing around, and she is one of them. I wish she can pop up for this show. But she can give her analogy concerning the Goku versus Super argument, which I've been trying to get a hold of her, but who knows? Because when I was doing my assignment with my assistant, trying to, I don't know, maybe she could give me a detailed number information I'm looking for. And I'm trying to figure out, like, based on the Dragon Ball Z power scaling, did I match with the comic book power scaling?
Say it again.
I was thinking, did the Dragon Ball Z power scaling is equivalent to the DC power scaling based on what the numeric measurement are going by? Not the question.
Are we kidding me? This is the same power scale that hasn't been fucking fully calculated since forever.
I know. That's the thing. This is why, since you mentioned that, they will let me go to that first question. How can they compare Goku to
Simple,
Superman?
because there's indication. See, this is where I sit here and say this, ladies and gentlemen. I will not be doing the bias. There'll only be one person I'll be doing that. There'll only be one person that's doing that. Him. Just him. Him.
Did
He would be the only one doing it, not me. Because I will bring as much facts and clarity as much as possible based upon pre-edible ideals. But let's
I'm
get
bringing the yang while I bring the yang. So he's trying to balance me out. So if I decide to
no,
be
no, no, no.
biased,
There ain't no balance on nothing. He's just gonna keep bringing the BS because that's what he's gone. That's what he's on. He's gonna bring the bias. That's what he's on, and I'm going to bring both sides of the stick. I'm going to stay on the straight and narrow. I will be the integrity of this platform. You better remember that.
what? Are you saying you never been biased before?
Again, I'll sit here and say this very clear. I'm not a team Superman, but I will keep it
Okay.
straight and forward.
All right.
And it just as much as I like Batman more than Superman, I will not sit here and act as if Superman cannot beat Batman. But I do love every single time that in every comics, he is outwitted, outsmart, outplayed almost everyone which way, shape, and form. I enjoy those moments, even though, let's be real, those are not logical moments. He should have died. That's just factual. That's just factual. Unless he was, well,
Wally.
you know, a dude that's willing to kill. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa?
Hey, I ain't argue.
With that said, like I said,
Not
I'll keep this on the straight and narrow. Craig, I don't know what to tell you, man.
so.
I don't know what to tell you. You're sort of missing out. Sort of.
I don't know why. No, Craig, you need to jump on the bandwagon. You need to get into something that has been the 20% plus of the Japanese economy. Yeah. When have you heard of any franchise in the U.S. is responsible for the U.S. economy? Never. But meanwhile, they found out that Dragon Ball generated about $30 billion for Japan. That is a no joke. When we were talking behind the stage last week about this debate, and we saw what we saw, well, I was like, 30 what? Oh, yeah. Akira Toyama, you're not about to die too soon. Need you. But that is the big deal. There's a story franchise that
Well,
not
Craig, I
only
wouldn't call them cartoons. I would more so call them animated comics or comic animations. I wouldn't call them cartoons.
that is where we need to have a show based on that theory that Wally brought up. It's a very logical theory. Because
We
everything we
did
see in
bring
the,
up that we did have that we did have that talk already.
we
The
had a talk
comics versus
already.
manga.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, yeah. On that part. Yeah, we did that.
So yeah, I don't call them cartoons.
Well, what our last show did the comic book versus manga, we called that it is not what you think it is. And I think that's what the problem people been doing so far. They've been comparing things the wrong way. And it doesn't do it justice, I would say. Let's
Right.
put, for example, talk about Superman, son of Krypton, defender of the earth, right? According to DC Comics. And I don't know. How will you start this argument concerning who Superman really is? Can you elaborate, Wally? Said
So for
I'm going to
me,
be biased.
well, however it is. So for me, this is how I look at it. If you were to start by saying, well, let's start when they were young, right? As far as just people, general aliens, right? Overall in the world. Superman had to take until he was like what? Almost close to an adult before his powers kicked in. Goku, on the other end, started when he was a youth. So at that point, as far as understanding, training, and everything else, Goku was far ahead of Superman. That's pretty obvious. Two, you could also pay a tribute to Supergirl in later, and this is a later factor component, but in comparison, Supergirl has more of the original training of Krypton than Superman does. So you can also understand that anything we hear now, think of it as even in a sense of Supergirl, you could say 10 times, 20 times that because of the original training, which is very interesting because after I took some digging, I actually learned some things about Superman I didn't know about. With that said, real quick, let me do this quick dig. DC, you fail, Superman. You fail. All right, let me bring that back. Let me bring that back. All right. But yeah, so from that part, I think at youth, you definitely give Goku a little bit more of the edge for that overall because he's learned from a very young time. Whereas Superman, he learned from a very short, he learned up until he got to an adult. And I believe David froze, so we're going to have to wait for a moment. Lord have mercy. This is bad timing. Wi-Fi internet gods, let this man work. Okay, Eric, let me see what you say. That's a bit mind-boggling since Dragon Ball Z is a far cry from being the best anime / manga ever produced. Well, Eric, you have to also think about it within times of where it was, when it was made, and then how it came into the anime world. Again, there is not called the Godfather of anime for no reason, or at least, yeah, Godfather because technically, Astro would be the great granddad or the godfather of anime. Yeah, he would be Astro Boy would be godfather. He would be the grandfather, and Goku would be Goku amongst Dragon Ball Z would be the grandfather of anime. And plus, two, you can also look at it in very commendable ways. Each of the big three, aka of the 2000s and beyond, aka One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach, they all have similar takes to Dragon Ball in a lot of ways, shape, and formalities. If you look at it very closely between the two, they're very much comparable if you actually think about it. So, yeah, it's very much so. And plus, two, you also got to think about it the same way. When Dragon Ball was running, it was also running in the time where when One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach was actually starting. So if Dragon Ball kept on going on the road, really, Dragon Ball would definitely be a little bit ahead. Granted, the storytelling was very mediocre towards certain parts, and there was not a lot of drawbacks to connect the dots, but it still had its moments. Which, hey, granted, it may not, in a sense, be the greatest anime, or however you may look at it, but it is the most memorable animes of them all. So we can choose Iron.
You,
And then,
forgive me, guys. I don't know why I'm having some weird glitch on my end. Shouldn't be. I thought I had to reboot my whole computer.
yeah, I hope the internet guys don't keep freaking you over because the last thing we need is to fudge this video up. But Craig, you also said Superman, it was in his teens when he started getting his powers. All right, his teens. So pretty much, like I said, before he was an adult, yeah. But even then, it's like Goku ahead of time was still learning techniques and skills. But the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of what Superman was quote unquote supposed to have been learned or taught, as far as I know, when I did some research and seen some things. Let's just say if this version from the comics were in actual television and or movies, this is a nasty. This Superman is pretty much very nasty to a point that he's literally a walk in the gate to everything that's living. That is pure evil. Literally. Or if he were to become evil, he's a walking death threat on sight. Which you can't make this shit up. Like I said, DC, you failed Superman. You failed Superman. Literally, I'm going to say that. Because what I've learned, you can't make this up to me. You just can't. Craig says the only thing I knew that I think was anime was Pokemon. I've never been an anime fan. That's the problem. You've been watching Pokemon. Pokemon shouldn't be the only anime. That's kids' anime. Oh, that's for the kids. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's why you haven't been deep in it. You haven't got to the dark, greedy stuff yet, or at least the good action stuff. Oh man. Oh man. But yeah, you just haven't. But overall, right, I will say this just to start this off in the right direction. So this debate ultimately started like in the 2000s, right? 2000, like you could say late 1990s to the 2000s. That's where it starts. Early 2010s, right? You look at that debate. So if you think to yourself, okay, think about all of which Goku and his forms at those point in times had, and then think to yourself, okay, Superman. And I know most people are going to sit here and say, well, which version of Superman? Let's sort of keep it just the main original visual of a Superman, like just main standard Superman. Just keep it main standard, because eventually, yeah, there may be some other versions that we might have to add, but just keep it main Superman. Craig, you said I don't even like Pokemon. I was forced to put up with it because of my brother when we that means you had nothing better to do, so you had no choice to be stuck to the glue of the TV. I hear you. I hear you.
Remember what I said about how Pokemon is the cheat? He was forced because his little brother had that thing on his mama, whereby he was forced to keep it on that channel. I told you, Pokemon was designed to have kids to force their parents go down their direction.
Well, of course, that's why it happened. But hey, I can't say nothing else. But with that said, okay, let me see. And then of course, as everyone knows, you guys seen it time and time again. There have been the first to second, and I think up to third, or either there's just two battles, death battles where they show off these credible fights between both Goku and Superman. We will add these videos in between as we talk about, just in general, as our thoughts for what we feel about Goku versus Superman, how we see them both as far as just characters, how we see them both deal with each other, and how that plays out as far as in our natural thoughts, what we believe is the fight overall. But David, you was ready for this big time. I'm gonna just sit back and see what you got to see about it. What you got to say about this? What is your ideal stance on both Superman versus Goku, and who has possibly the upper hand and why?
Now, if you want to talk about idea stand concerning this, right? I will understand the argument if they're going based on comparison, because based on different arc, play his power level, right?
Uh,
There are different levels to the argument whereby if you do it before he say yes, Superman come mount him. For the time he was training on gravity. Now, let's be real. I don't know if there's anywhere in the comic book where Superman had to be in an atmosphere whereby it's 10 times Earth's gravity or 20 times Earth's gravity to 100 times Earth's gravity situation. I'm not sure that that's ever been made known.
of course not. But let's be honest, different skepticisms though.
Yeah, but here where they come to play. That particular dynamic arc when Goku was going save his friend, but shenanigans going on there. He was training in that spaceship under 100 times. Now you understand that is not a level where a normal human being, let's keep it a buck. The Earth's
Okay.
gravity is normal for everybody to go into. But when you multiply it to a level where it's the gravity pressure is forcing you down over 100 times.
Mhm.
That will flatten any human being. Let's keep it 100.
We know. We saw
Anytime
Yamcha try to
gravity.
do it. That's a perfect
Like,
example. We saw Yamcha try to do it.
oh God. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please forgive us. Whenever we met the Yamcha, we threw him on the bus. Please forgive
He's a
us.
clear example of everything. Sadly, literally, he was literally fidgeting, trying to close the damn machine.
And what the level? When he put Titan gravity,
Something like that.
put it
Maybe
on.
time 100. I don't know. I gotta
Oh,
remember the number.
100, he was not touching that.
All I
He would have
know is
put
he
time
started.
10.
He started it right where Vegeta left it, and he
What level
collapsed
the
with
Vegeta?
ease. Vegeta goes
What level
way
did
heavier than that. So that's what I'm saying. Depending on wherever Vegeta left it, he
if he
got
le-
cracked quick.
if he left it around 30 or 50, that was a big mistake he made. Because
No,
when he heard that Goku did 100 times, he was training to get up to Goku level and surpass Goku level.
that was never gonna happen.
Because 100 times, shit. Now here's the joke though. After the Namek arc whatsoever, he did train in 100 time plus. But they put it in perspective, not bringing the kids in it, but let's bring the kid. Trunk, kid Trunk was doing it. That to tell you the Saiyan breed is not a normal breed. So if you're doing one hand push up under 100 times gravity, and I'm talking about the regular 100 push up that you do on the ground, you 100 push with your legs in the air. That's that's not a lot of force into that thing. There's a level of strength level that you have to think about. And the villain that you're fighting with, talk about a villain whereby his corp, the Frieza Corp, job was to sell planet. Now, in DC, you never heard of anybody besides Lobo, who was the bounty hunter, going to find a planet looking for bounties to collect. But there was a time there was a bounty on Superman. And I'm trying to figure out who put a bounty on Superman. He wasn't a criminal, but who would?
Come on, respect people.
And the fact that Superman had a hard time with Lobo, of all people,
Again, you way stretching that far. You way stretching.
I just I'm just
You
putting
you you,
shit on.
you again. I'm gonna hold you in contempt. Stop. I will hold you in contempt.
Okay, my thing is this. I get it.
I mean, again, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. He's right what he's saying technically, because Lobo is at that level. Because literally, he's literally indestructible. He can't be killed unless his own people, which he actually killed in the fucking comics. So, other than his daughter that he magically made, that's another story.
So I haven't seen any area where Superman have been in an area or in space or any situation dealing with the gravity force. The only person I can think of using gravity force was on Marvel. Was it a villain called Graviton or what was the name? He have control of gravity and he was able to utilize gravity force. So I haven't yet seen the chance. I'm not trying to be biased right now, but
No,
unless
I know what you're going at. Keep going. I haven't
unless you
stopped you. Notice that, right? I haven't stopped.
unless you can find the equivalent of what Goku went through on 100 times gravity and see what how a Superman will react in that type of environment. That
Well,
is true to be told.
okay, so let's put it like this, right? If you were to told me today, 100 times gravity, what baseline of component would that endure? Would that endure strength, durability? What would that touch upon being
It
under
will be
that?
strength, will be ability to be able to maneuver because one, Goku was doing that during the Namek arc, and after the Namek arc, it was child play for them.
Right. So with that said, I would sit here and say this. For someone that is considered the man of steel, for someone that is considered able to move the way he is, because think about it, you're steel. Like, think about this in comparison in comics. Colossus was put in animated. That's a sort of type of metal liquid that's composed, right? And then you're going on from that. He would be not moving as fast. He would be moving as slow, right? Same thing with Wolverine, someone that has animanium, same way, moving not as faster than the normal of his normal prowess, right? But Superman is a whole another story. He can move that much. So guess what? Gravity wouldn't make no difference. So he's proven that. That's not gonna hold
Okay,
him back.
okay. I'm just asking that question.
No, no,
Okay.
I know, but I know. I didn't. That's why I didn't stop you. Real quick, Eric, you said both David and Wally. Do either of you have a tabletop RPG experience at all? Because I do recommend versus scenarios like this played out in Champions. Interesting. Uh, that I could not answer that. And oh, actually, you said tabletop RPG experiences. When you say tabletop RPG experience, what you mean by that exactly?
Role playing game.
Oh, just role playing games. Yeah, in some factions.
But here the thing though, because I respect the YouTube channel called Death Battle, and they have
Oh,
tried
don't worry. That's one of the videos that we have up
as,
soon.
as detailed as possible, but I don't think they are big time anime fan like we are. So I believe there's a level of bias on their end to do these type of matchup
Are you sure?
because for one,
David?
I usually when they did that.
No, no, no. You lagged out, so that's why I'm making sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Why I'm lagging out. 'Cause it shouldn't be because I
Yeah,
did a
but you're
speed
back
test a
now,
while
so
ago.
go ahead, complete the thought real quick, because
So as I was saying before, I lagged out, which is crazy because my speed test I'm doing right now, I'm almost over 800 megabytes per second. If I'm going that fast on the internet, then there should be no lagging.
well, it
Let's just
caught
come
you
along with the
in a glimpse. Go
let's just
ahead.
come along with the window update I push that it costing the power. Then I may have evidence to sue Microsoft.
Right.
Anyway, as we were saying, I want to lose my train of thought.
You was talking about how they do not know anime as much
Yes,
as other people do, so you think that they sort of skew the information.
that's my firm belief because for one, when you're doing comparison, they talk about the impact, the power, the explosive power, how much they were able to withstand, and how you compare that to. Because there's several times you have Goku on a certain blast that possibly literally destroy a planet. Let's be perfect example. I'm not trying to jump the gun. You have the God of Destroyer viewers. Remember, I understand Dragon Ball franchise. They operate in a power where they had a thing called the Destroyer power. Where you only take a small ball of Hakai power to destroy a planet, right?
Mhm.
Not a massive ball, but a small ball,
A little dot.
pretty much. And imagine an individual able to withstand that and struggle, trying to overcome it because his rival, aka Frieza, was in the same situation. And he able to control it. I mean, did a term, did an affinity. Him and Vegeta are having an affinity to the destroyer power compared to Goku, who had affinity to the angel power. But the fact that Goku did not vanish, which is one. We are fighting at the actual power, which is two. That small ball end up engulfing him to a big ball, which is three. He had to struggle for a whole entire time until Beerus came and blew it off, which was kind of disrespectful. That to show you there's a comp- a a gap level between strength. But with anybody else,
But strength for who?
a destroyer and immortal.
Okay.
When I look at that, and here's the thing, I think Akira Toriyama, but I slip on this issue. In the anime, there should have been a way that they can be scale the powers throughout the whole franchise. I remember during the time when they first started off, they had the power scope until It went past 5,000 and it blew off. Ever since then, rely on the creator to emphasize what the power level may be. Kiritoman give it a measurement on that one. I believe his editor would have corrected and give it a detail, but Toyotawa, I don't think he have that detail. So when we go online, I'm sending my chat GPT an assignment to create a poster to, and I didn't realize I'm abusing my assistant, so I'm a bad employer. So she have been burning the night hour for a while. So I'm hoping I can showcase that one to give it a understanding based on level from when he first started when he was young until the tournament, until he met Yamcha, until the time whereby he had to go to Namek, and after the Namek arc, how he progressed over time. Because remember, being from regular base form, King Kai, Kawakan form, right? Before he got into Super Saiyan form, before he did the Super Saiyan 2 form, right? Before he did Super Saiyan level 3, which is considered to be argue about this. There's something wrong with this argument whereby the creator left a Easter egg out, which we find out later on. And while he lost it, that's not an excuse, which is true.
What Easter are you talking about?
They couldn't draw the tail because of anime
Oh
issue.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, if I could recall, while I latched out on that one, it was recommended because it was no excuse, none.
Complete laziness.
It, yeah, it was stupid. And when Goku was transformed into Super Saiyan level 3, it was shaking the entire universe. But then on the ground, he was in the air. And every multiple planet further than the Earth, they're able to sense that power. That let me know there is a power scaling that is not being, it wasn't documented properly, or they didn't emphasize on it properly, because when you take a
Oh
character from,
no. Well, it is emphasized. The only thing is like, of course, you have to have the proper the info of the thing. But let me put this. Let me put this in implication, right? Because as far as power level goes, and it's mainly for Goku, because of course Superman doesn't have to power up. His power source is just the sun. Ergo, that leaves him with infinite amount of strength and power for that main.
unless you cut off his solar power supply, keep him in the dark.
Yeah, good luck trying that. Literally, like good luck trying that. Literally,
Because,
good luck trying that.
but here's the thing though, say he was solar powered, there was a Superman movie where there's a particular villain was powered up by the sun in a very unique way, but was more like a nuclear way.
Okay, which villain are you talking about in this one?
Because there was one villain the Christopher during the Christopher Reed franchise of Superman, where there's one villain that was created. He was nuclear powered some kind of way, but if you cut off the sun for him, he turned off. Like he's not active. I'm not sure what it was.
You're not talking about that beast, aren't you?
Is it Superman 2 or Superman 3? I'm not sure. I would find it funny.
You're not talking about Doomsday, you ain't.
Not, it wasn't Doomsday.
Okay, I know you're talking about that.
It was the classic Superman movie.
Okay, well,
Superman had a villain that he was fighting. That if you didn't catch him off guard, you had to block the sun. If he got no sun power, he shut down, literally. Like Windows. You know the Windows sound when you don't talk like this?
uh,
And I found that weird. Cause I said, hold on. Superman getting power from the sun too, but he don't get shut down like that. If you know what I mean.
no, I hear
That
you.
is strange. And the way Superman was able to beat him, he blocked the sun, put him in some kind of still container, and throw him I don't know, wait. Did he throw him in a volcano or a nuclear reactor? I'm not sure. It was a villain created to fight against him. He was his rival. He had nuclear power, but he run on solar energy. But I
Hold on, I'm
finally,
about to look that up because I don't know which one you're talking about.
I remember the movie.
It says Superman. Okay, I'm just gonna say that overall.
But I know I got my assistant here working her ass off. I'm a taskmaster. And I give my assistant the worst task possible to complete. Maybe if I have a supercomputer,
So okay, so
if you have the picture, you can put them up. That's what I'm trying to say. It kind of like there are too many variables in this issue.
yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about because that may or may not be a canon character. I don't know. Yeah, you're gonna have to figure that out for me because because
That,
what
and
I've got
that's what I asked that
here.
question because he had a villain who was almost that similar wavelength
You
like
said
him.
that gets powerful with sunlight.
He get p- he get a power with sunlight, but when you block his sunlight, he get turned off. Like he cold.
I don't know
I
which
forgot
one.
I forgot
Yeah.
who created him. I think it was like Luther creation. He created a super villain that without the sun, he's cold as ice.
Well, that's probably why because I wouldn't know. Okay, let me see.
I remember watching the movie. I don't know, was it Richard Pryor in that movie? Was it?
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. I just wouldn't know. All right. Well, look, we're gonna be all day, so just
I know,
we'll
I
just keep
know.
going.
So that's what I'm
But
trying to say. The level comparison. Yes, yes, to make it power from the sun. Problem is, what kind of sun? The red sun, the yellow sun. Get it
well,
power from the yellow
only
sun.
the yellow sun, the red sun, the blue sun, yellow. Okay, red sun weakens himself, so it pretty much drains his powers in a sense. And then blue sun, it actually converts him to have different abilities. So, which also still changes the medics of his form. But again, in most cases, based upon Earth, you're still going to be around the yellow sun. So, would it really matter to add those components?
I totally get it. The man get it power from the sun. It's totally
The
understandable.
one thing I will add, though, just to make sure of this, right? Let this be known. The only thing that will drain Superman faster than anything is his heat beams. If he uses his heat beams, he will drain his powers too much, which then he has to start driving upwards to the sun to recharge. So that's one thing that will drain him out. Remember that.
And Craig said it. It's like a battery. You just need the sun to recharge.
Right. But like that's why I
Totally
said before.
understandable. That's a very unique ability to have compared to a Saiyan, what we have learned and dig into the most that their potential it seems to be broken.
Yeah,
Meaning,
but its potential only is seen to be broken as far as just reaching new levels, but it still has to require them to go back down to base. Ergo, you still would have to touch back base either which way.
I totally understand. But based on anybody who understands the Dragon Ball's saga concerning Saiyan, whenever they're near death, get injured, and they get healed, it unlock another level.
Mm,
And they call it Zenkai. That's the term, Zenkai boost.
yeah.
And throughout the series, there have been something that have not been fully explained, but it seemed to me that this is an abuse. Meaning, if you want to power up a Saiyan, all you gotta do is beat them close to the end of their life, heal them up, get another Zenkai boost. And they keep doing that thing over and over. Let me tell you who abused that system first. Vegeta. And this happened during the Namek arc. And who was their healer behind? Was Dende.
Well, pause.
When the,
Did you? Well, technically, he didn't abuse it.
in a way they did because they had
Well,
Dende.
no, wait. He abused it, but he only abused it once. So I wouldn't say he abused it as far as he abused it in
But
Contreras.
he
Remember,
figured out. I know he figured out when Gohan got healed and he came out much power. Then he realized
he pretty much asked Krillin to beat him up, beat him to a pulp, and then asked Dende to heal him up. But Dende refused the first time, then did it. But after the second time, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna heal you."
Yeah. So it kind of like what he could have done. I had his argument. If Virginia didn't do that and they play along the game, worn out, because here's the thing with Frida. The character they were fighting again, Frida cannot power up after injuries. Yes, he have a lot of transformations. But if they could have used that in a way by, let's say, did a fight with a dude, he got injured, they take him back, hit him somewhere, have him healed. While Gohan and Krillin warn the guy out and come back, they could have met up Frida mind because Frida was trying to catch on. How come I beat these people down to the end of their life? They come back even stronger.
Like
And Frida who
cockroaches.
didn't come.
That's
Oh,
what he said too. That's what he said. Oh, that's the.
Wally, you really had to throw that one in there.
Hey, I'm just gonna put it out real quick. He did say it. He did say it. Oh my god, he did say it.
Yeah, he did say it because it was spooking him. It was like, wait.
And plus, it was irritating the crap out of him. You know, he knows the Saiyan legend. He knows the legends of the Saints. He knows.
He knows, no. He knew because the person who set him to destroy the planet had a fear. Imagine a whole entire planet where they had the ability to power up just for almost reaching to the end of their life and they get healed. You don't have a whole entire planet of overpowered broken individuals. They figure
Who
out
run
that
rules
loophole.
and take over planets left and right.
Yeah. And they figured out that loophole. They can do that to everybody. Imagine a shitty ass father give birth to his son, beat his son to the end of his life, heal him. Yeah. Do that every year. Hey, son, we're doing it to you to make you stronger.
Yeah. Well, here's the
Well,
thing about no, here's the thing about the Zenkai boost that's actually a problem, right? And this is why the this is why Dragon Ball, as far as power scaling, is literally the worst. Because what does Zenkai boost really boost? Ultimately, is it a moment? Is it the overall strength at that time? What are we really boosting? Is it the overall
according to
base?
what other Dragon Ball fans who have looked into it, it's more the Zenkai boost not only increase their power level, it increase their strength, they also unlock hidden ability within themselves. The problem is the Zenkai boost don't always go in the same direction for every Saiyan. That's what the issue. They were comparing the Zenkai. No, let me explain why I say that.
No, go ahead.
They explained the Zenkai boost growth with Goku compared to Vegeta compared to Gohan, right? The path they took in their power up. For example, Goku Vegeta was almost parallel. They both would say something on level one, two. He did three. Even though he couldn't achieve three, he never touched it because he realized Goku had an issue with it. They both got into Super Saiyan level God. Then Super Saiyan God Blue. Then he got Ultra Instinct. He got Ultra Ego, right? Those are to the Denkabu direction. Gohan, right? Super Saiyan level one, he reached to two. He didn't go to two. The next level he gave was Mystic, call it, right? Would probably be his strongest level before you got Beast.
Which is just a joke.
Now that is a unique direction because someone was saying an intangible factor that always overlooked is what is the motivation to come back in the fight. What is the driving force that bring them to blow? What is at stake? That's a good question. This is why I say way Dragon Ball Denkai Boost operate is not spot on, but it's very confusing because they don't always go in the same direction. But look at Gohan Denkai Boost path. He didn't get to Super Saiyan level God or Super Saiyan level 3. He went to Mystic, then jumped straight to Beast. And me and Wale were concerned about when after Akira Toriyama passed away, Towa will say Gohan Beast is the same as Vegeta Ultra Ego and Goku Ultra Instinct, which we found it doesn't add up. But yet they did a manga whereby Gohan did fight against his father, and the father did test his power out. But what I noticed, Gohan was going full blast on Gohan beast mode. Goku wasn't. How is it that they are almost the same when everybody know Goku? He like to test things now. He never go full power yet. That's his bad habit. So when he was testing his son's ability to Gohan beast mode, and he was an Ultra Instinct, but wasn't using full power, what that state then? Are they the same level, or Goku is hiding more? That's the issue we have with the manga part, and we have following the Dragon Ball manga franchise. We have I'm not what I'm pointing out. Goku power level is very very unique in itself, but when it comes to greater, it's hard to pinpoint it. If I'm going based on his base form right now, if we're going on the base form, it has to improve over time based on whatever level he unlocked.
Well, of course, but that's the reason why I'm saying the Zenkai boost technically is it. I mean, look, it's the ultimate cheat for Saiyans, but it's an ultimate. It's just an ultimate cheat because it doesn't relegates how far in between you really are hitting at that point. So, for instance, let me give you guys a perfect example, right? So, understand this, right? Let's say up until the point of the Z Fighter, up until the Saiyan Saga. Saiyan Saga, Raditz was more stronger than both Goku and Piccolo put together. And funny enough, Raditz was the lowest form of the Saiyans amongst the group, as far as Vegeta, Nappa, and then Raditz.
Badly.
So think about that. And Raditz was probably 4,000, 5,000 power level. What you think about that? Now, okay, in that time when Raditz and Goku both died, at that moment when Piccolo hit the Super Beam Cannon, Raditz let them both know there will be two others coming within 1 year's time. So of course, Goku had 1 year's time in the other world to train. Now, understand, training in other world is a different component than training in Earth realm. So of course, there's a whole different dynamic. Plus, also this is also a dynamic of Goku getting another master to be trained under, right? Which he gains Kaioken, which is another big training booster form that has conditions. But understanding this, right, and this is where it becomes a very interesting standpoint, right? Because by the time Goku comes back, faces Nappa and Vegeta, Goku sees, not Goku, Vegeta sees Goku's power level, and what does he say to Nappa? He says, it's over 9,000. He's like, what? It's over 9,000! And cracks the scouter.
I don't know why he cracked it for. He should have kept it.
Because he's pissed, and he knows there's no way in hell a low-class Saiyan like him could even reach this high. How the hell? Especially on Earth. So, of course, he's like, what in the tardation are you doing? What are you up to? How the hell you got this strong? He's questioning every
Vegeta went emo. He was in his personal feelings.
Of course he is. But, yeah, because think about it. You have to think about this. Vegeta is going planet to planet, slaying and killing. You've been stuck here forever, and you haven't done nothing. How the hell you come with this power and you stay here? Make it make sense. So that's a problem. And then to easily get smacked up Nappa, let alone even have a decent fight with Vegeta in first round, it tells you everything you need to know. But the reason why I bring this part up real quick for a standpoint is, so think of it like this, right? Now, in the manga, they said over 8,000. On the anime series, it's over 9,000. Right. So there's a different fluctuation. So either which way, over 8,000, over 9,000, really don't know the exact number. They haven't pinpointed.
And what
all we know is over
9,000 what? 9,000 volt? That's where
all we know is 9,000 plus the multipliers of Kaioken, because we didn't post that out yet. So think about that part. But this is why I sit here and say, let's start from a season of sagas, from a standpoint of sagas, aka the Saiyan Saga, Superman would be, in my opinion, Superman's beating Goku in the Saiyan Saga at that point.
And I agree. And I totally agree with that part. The Saiyan Saga, this man would have had that one hands down.
Right.
I had to agree.
Now,
And here's the thing: Vegeta was injured. So
mhm,
was Goku. Vegeta got into that the baseball capsule and got shot to where Frieza was,
mhm,
and he was getting healed in Namek with a healing machine.
mhm.
Goku had to get a Saiyan being, which was another cheat.
Sensu bean, yeah.
Sensu
Now,
being.
sensu bean was a more
It's a cheat.
deliberate cheat, but it was a cheat that actually was way more dynamic. I mean, it's pretty much it's an equal cheat to what Dende did with healing, but
Yes.
it's just good. But
So
we
all that broken bone and all of the injury he had, this one tune on that one, it went out the window. Even the doctor almost choked on his saliva.
pretty much. Craig, you asked what class would you put Thundercats in anime or in the other thing?
That's a
Yeah,
good question.
Thundercats would be more so in a class of if it's because if I'm not mistaken, it's in comic books, isn't it?
Yeah, but remember all the old cartoon back then was done by Japanese animators.
It
Secretly.
was done by Japanese animation, but it's still an American made project. So
Yeah, that's why I say secretly. So the question is it safe to say all the 80 cartoon that were done by Japanese animator is actually anime in disguise?
no, because you have to think about it too. You have to think about it. The reason why I say this is because if we were to sit here and say that, it would actually be done by someone from them. It's not an adopted project. This is something that's created here.
And if you look at the credit of every cartoon back then, there was a section for animators and they had these Japanese folks
Right.
who were actually
No,
doing
yeah.
it. So
They
that's what
animated, but as far as the creation of it is different. So the
okay,
creation's still here, but the animation is just the animation part.
makes sense.
But ultimately, I would say it's more of a comic book animation. I wouldn't call it a cartoon. So that's one thing for sure. I won't call it cartoons. I'll call it comic book animation. That's my main thing.
So when you go past the Saiyan arc, entering the Namek arc, this is where things become different. Goku got here with a sensu beans. Even a bag full, got on a huge spaceship would have a gravity generator, which multiplied the force of gravity.
Right. So real quick, David, pause. So Eric says you keep referring to thousands, and I have no idea what is being qualified. So okay, so Eric, put it like this, right? What I'm pretty much trying to explain as a starter piece of this argument is think of it like this. For Goku, right? That's on a power level scale. If you were to, let's say, if you were to arrange that into the dynamics of comics, as far as scaling, like strain, durability, all this, Goku would not even be close in those departments as much as Superman is. Superman would pretty much beat the living daylights out of Goku within those departments at that point of the saga of the same saga. So that's why I'm pretty much qualifying at that point. Because pretty much how you would compare in comics, you would say like what strength, durability, and other factor points. I forgot that they mentioned. Hold on, let me go check because I know they mentioned certain pretty much scalings for comics. Hold on. Because I know they have this here as far as they scaling tactics, but there's a certain scale they have. I gotta lift this up. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, but
Now,
yeah,
but
keep going.
then I'm looking at it on Google. They say the Dragon Ball Power skill used numerical power level to measure a character's strength, or strength based or what. But these are many obsolete after the Frieza saga. Originally measured by Scouter, power level represent an estimate of physical capability, but when often inaccurate, especially when the character suppress their strength, which is not inaccurate. It's like they're not trying to let it eliminate. After the decline of Scouter, power scaling became narrative and relied on comparing transformation and applying multipliers, such as Super Saiyan is time 50. So here it is. Super Saiyan is time 50. That's Super Saiyan. So what about Super Saiyan level 2? Well, that is time 100.
Yes, actually.
Now
You
you,
know,
now, now you get the argument behind that.
Oh no, I'm gonna get with you on that. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to find this power scale because literally have to keep looking for this.
My assistant is now trying to create a chart for us with from the scaling from different saga, and I didn't realize it's struggling. So maybe if I get a supercomputer, my system will be able to do work on that end better. My PC is not super. I don't have a Xerox processor. I don't have the type of dual Xerox processor motherboards, but I can max out to like maybe 198 gig RAMs. So when I give the complex job to my assistant, get it in lightning speed. But why do you get what I'm coming from? You go based on the power scale because it said when they go to suicide, it's time 50. So whatever their power was on base form, it's multiplied by 50.
Why can
That
I
being
not find
said,
scaling?
it's kind of like that's a massive boost. So I remember when it come to see what's his name, but there's several times with where Goku has to surprise Vegeta, and before he surprised Vegeta, it was Gohan, Krillin, Piccolo, and Vegeta that forced Frieza to go to different transformations. He started with the first one, went to the second one. The third one was super ugly. Got to his so-called final form. That's when Goku came into play, and they went blow to blow, pound for pound, to the point whereby Frieza had to use half his power to get an edge. There's a complication during that saga whereby they think Goku died and got resurrected by Dragon Ball, but I don't think that's the case. Because that's shown before when they're Super Saiyan, oh, they can survive being in lava. Lava don't affect them.
Right. So okay, so Eric, sadly I can't find the actual power scaling what I'm looking for because it's pretty much strength, durability, something else, but I can't find it. But pretty much put it like this, right? So Goku in a world of comics as an equivalence would be on street slash peak human terms at that point. And then Kaioken would help him be superhuman slash metahuman terms with that extra boost. Okay, you found that? Okay, interesting. Well, when you find that, let me know the full breakdown. But I keep forgetting which one. All the I know it's strength, durability, energy projection, and some other stuff. I know it's the I know what the heck it is. It's like, oh my god, it's so horrible.
No, because this is something I've been trying to see how we can get that data. Because this is what I think when you take any character from one franchise, from one different realm, which is the anime, when to go and compare it. But the comic have their own scaling system, don't they not?
Yeah, they do. That's why I'm trying to find it. That's why I mentioned some of it. I don't remember all of it. That's the only thing.
But we might post it on our Sparta HQ Network channel if we do get the actual scale post, and we will link it up so people can go back and view for themselves and start to make a comparison. Because I think that's something that it
All
haven't
right,
been
now I'm
done.
getting it right now. Hold on, I'm about to get all of it right now. Give me a moment. All right. Okay, so they actually put this in tiers, but I don't even know this. So overall, right? Strength, durability, speed, energy projection, intelligence, combat skills, stamina, reality slash music manipulation. That is what I'm talking about. So if you look into components from the first timing of, as we're saying, strength, Goku has not lifted a ton, at least 1 ton yet. So he's not peak human at that point in time. All right. Durability, he has some decency of durability, but not a whole lot per se. Speed is pretty good. I wouldn't know as far as what I'm thinking. The Saiyan Saga. I don't know how fast Goku was in Saiyan Saga, but I don't think so. He would catch up at that point. I know he gets faster later on, but at this point, no. Energy projection, pretty good in energy projection as far as Kamehameha techniques, energy blast, all that stuff. Intelligence. I mean, don't get me wrong. I may joke that Goku's an idiot, but he's not that much of an idiot. Let's not get that wrong. No, literally, let's not get that wrong, right? I mean, he's not super level genius, but he has intelligence. Combat skills, he's a great martial artist. Ever since a child, stamina pretty decent, and then reality/magic manipulations. I would put that more so as energy projection as a case of that. So yeah, but ultimately, all in all, he don't really have that as an actual thing. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm trying to aim at as far as starting at the first saga of the Saiyan saga at that point. Initially.
So I tried another former assistant of mine, aka Deep Seek, and they kind of like got close to it, the understanding of it. Now, for what it said, it was a how you say it. There's no single official consistent power scale measurement used throughout the entire Dragon Ball series, which is true. The concept evolved over time, which is true. But based on power level, let's say a farmer with a shotgun will be 5. Raditz with 1,200, right? Piccolo with 1,330, enough to kill Raditz. Vegeta during the Saiyan Saga with 18,000. He is one. During the Saiyan Saga, he was 18,000 at the time. Frieza first form is 530,000.
As base form.
Me, which means Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin must have went up to a level that forced Frieza to go on to the second form, third form, and fourth form, right?
Pretty
And
much. But remember, because when they first fought Frieza, he instantly jumped to his second form. He wasn't going to fight at that point. Even though, funny enough, that first form alone was enough for him to explode every Saiyan, let alone the whole freaking planet Vegeta.
and that's something I'm looking at right now because somebody doing faster than my other system. I might have to fire or demote. Yeah, I can download it. King.
But yeah, but real quick, because I also want to throw this information in there, because as we slightly swerve over to the next part of the saga, which is the Namek. It's called the Namek Saga, right? The second phase.
Because at time I act on Deep Seek, and they give me some numerical form. Like the same form base level is 334 versus Raditz. Then 8,000 that Kaioken times 3 versus Vegeta, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during the Namek Saga, the base power level was over 90,000 on arrival. Denkai boost
Yeah. At the first time, yeah.
after Denkai boost is 3 million.
Right.
Kaioken times 20 is 60 million.
Okay.
Super Saiyan level 1 is 150 million. Top.
Well, wait a minute. Pause. If you're wait a minute. So pause. So
Because
if Super Saiyan, so
three-
wait, if up until the time before the fight, right? If he's what three? You said 3 million.
but they say that this allowed him to defeat Frieza, who was confirmed to be at a power level of 120 million.
Right, but no. What I'm saying is right because before he fought Frieza, right, he was at 90,000, and then eventually after that boost from healing from the pot, he was at 3 million.
Yeah. When he turned
Okay.
Super Saiyan, but before that, when he did the Kaioken times 20, that goes to 60.
Well, see, that's part. No. See that? Okay, that's where they sort of like. See, that's where they jigged it because again, Kaioken is not an add-on. It's just a multiplier at that moment in time. So if you drop it back down to base, let alone based upon how tired and beat up Goku is at that point,
And
which also is a
it
cheat
went,
because in a
it
sense,
went back to 3 million, right? But
right,
here
it
the
went back to 3 million.
but here the jokes. Super Saiyan level is a multiplied time 50, with bringing him
Right.
up to 150 million.
Okay, yeah.
Compared Frieza with a 120 million.
120.
Now the
Wait,
Cell
wait.
Saga,
Okay, you said 120 million.
Frieza with 120 million, while Goku at the Super Saiyan with 150 million.
Okay, so they didn't rig that at that point. Wait, no, actually, so yeah,
So,
they did rig it. Okay, never mind. Go.
so remember what it said? His base point after his Zenkai book was 3 million.
No. I know what you're saying. No, but when I'm saying they rigged it because this is what I'm saying. Like when you understand, okay, finally Vegeta train. I mean, sorry, finally Frieza trains, and then now he gets Golden Vegeta. I mean, sorry, Golden Frieza. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Finally, Frieza trains, gets Golden Form Frieza, and it's like, wait a minute. So 120 million, and then now here you are training in a bit of time, and then voila.
Let's say when Goku became Super Saiyan, went to 150 million.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's part, but that's what I'm saying. Like when you think about it, if Frieza actually trained and stopped being a little brat that think he had the whole world wrapped in his finger, this would have been a wholly different story. This is what I'm saying. It's a joke. And yes, Eric, the numbers are ridiculous. That's the nature of power scaling.
This is why it. This is why I say
because here's
the
another
case.
part.
I want to share something. DeepSeek would allow me to do that. My other assistant was struggling with. I'm like, I might have to sack. So this is a scaling. Dragon Ball. Let me see if I can zoom in. If I can see it. It was something I've been trying to get for the longest. A lot of time people have been trying to find something like this. So this is Dragon Ball, start of the journey. 10. Third Kamehameha with 50. 22nd Budokai, 180. King Piccolo Saga, 260, right? Dragon Ball Z, Raditz, 334, Saiyan Saga, 8,000. Namek Saga. Remember I talked about that one?
Yeah.
Now, I didn't get more of that one. So imagine when he's in Super Saiyan level 1.
Right. He's at
According to the description from DeepSeek, that's time 50.
Right. So he's 15 million. 150 million.
Super Saiyan level 2 is time 2 or Super Saiyan level 1. Which
right. So pretty much
time 100.
Yeah. And okay, let's put this in framework, right? By the time Goku gets Super Saiyan 1 and he fully mastered it before the Cell Saga, well, during the Cell Saga, but he mastered it, that means that Goku's base form would considerably be 150 mil because the fact that he's able to stay in that form and live in that form because he's fully mastered it.
And that's doing the Cell Saga.
So that's his new base. Understand, that's technically his new base in a sense.
And that's doing the Cell Saga.
Right.
And when he went, he didn't go Super to level 2. His son did.
Right, he's the first.
Son multiply will be more like, that time 100. So that's over 300 million plus. Cell. Right? Mm-hmm. As I'm trying to read off on the description of DeepSeek, which my other assistant is still struggling. Let's say Super Saiyan level 3 is 4 times over Super Saiyan level 2.
Which means he's pretty much 400 times 400. Now, what was interesting here, now this is the funny part, right? when they said Super Saiyan 3 is pretty much 400 times. So this was the funny thing to me. Well, of course, it's obvious to Vegeta. He is only one time. He's 1/4 of able to maintain Super Saiyan 3, which means, right, he's only one bar of the whole part, right? So what bar scaling is Goku on? 3, 2. How far of a mastery is he at of that he can contain?
Okay, I might have to bring this out.
Because what I find
So
funny is because real quick, I'm actually gonna share my screen next because I want you to show this article because as I was doing some research, I'm like, I heard some slightly egregious, and I'm like, you cannot say this entirely. You just can't.
is let's share this one out.
Right. Hold on. Let me try to size it up so everyone can see it.
And they said it. Why Goku and Superman is the worst battle?
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
First
I'll
item
read
on
it.
the list. Okay, let me read it. After waiting through half a dozen
All right,
battles,
Eric.
but after waiting through half a dozen battles between Goku and Superman, I have decided to write this as a way of convincing other four members to stop using this scenario. We all know why people want to act for this fight. They are icons of their own writing format, anime and comic respectively, and both have very similar ideas and some personality traits. But that is where the line is drawn. And I am tired of people arguing back and forth without knowing all the facts. Let me remind you all that I love both characters, not me, but they are too different for this to be considered anything but a mismatch. First item on the list. Goku is only equal to Superman to his what? Base form. Ouch. I know some people would disagree, but in his base form, Goku has feats that make him equal to Superman in pure raw power, fighting skill, and ability. Debatable. However,
Now pause real quick. Now he says in his base form there is the definitive feats. I did the research. This is false. It's completely false. And if anyone finds any correctable terms of how this is not false, please, please, please make your comments known in the description. In the comment section after this live or during the live if you're tuning in and watching the video. But one thing that it said, this is the closest thing that I heard it said as far as a clear depiction feat in base form. And it's talking about Dragon Ball Super. Now, here's the problem with this, the feat. Because it wasn't ultimately in his base form that he did this. Not ultimately. So they're talking about when he clashed with Lord Beerus, right, in the Battle of Gods, where he absorbed God power and into his base form, which makes his base form at ultra level. Or, sorry, not ultra level, but universal level. Let me reframe that from comic book terms. But this is the problem. It was after the fact that you did the ritual, you got that form. If you had no knowledge of it, you would never get there anyways. Ergo meaning, at base form, what feats did you really have? Because last time I checked, Goku was getting every other help every other time, beating his rivals. So,
yes.
stop. You love both characters, but you wasn't going to keep it 100. Okay. No. But, all right. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Let me go to the next part, and David can read on.
Any Super Saiyan Goku is stronger than Superman. People constantly put down Super Saiyan level 1 Goku versus Super Saiyan level 3 Goku versus Superman. Guys, stop. The Super Saiyan form is not just appearance change, but multiplication in all form of power, giving Goku the advantage in all areas, which is, remember we talked about this. Yeah. Goku can fight impossible FTL speed. Superman cannot. Like
Okay, FTL. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Sorry. So FTL, for those that don't know, faster than light. Basically meaning when they're shooting up and they're appearing, disappearing, pretty much what they're saying. But
Yes, that is true.
I'm gonna tell you right now that when we bring up the video, that will slightly be debunked as well in a sense.
I hope so. I hope so. It is a common misconception that Superman can, for Superman, because he can fly in faster than light speed. He does not have the faster than light speed comeback speed, which is first and foremost, to trade with the naked eye, it's almost like they're disappearing.
Right.
Goku is a debatable galaxy buster. And that's what I'm trying to point out. Now this one may be a stretch, but while it's never showing him destroying galaxy, it's been stated by many characters that he and his beta enemy could destroy the whole galaxy. The time that him and Bell were going blow to blow.
Well, okay, yeah. So up to the Dragon Ball Super, that has been a fact. Now,
what we do know for a fact, however, is that Goku could destroy a planet easily in any form.
Right. But now hold on. Now notice this. Notice the clear condition. Do you guys see that little timing of when this article is made? 12 years ago. We're in 2025, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 12-year article. So how do you know he's a galaxy buster if this is 12 years ago? What 4 and 12 years ago were you in at this point in time for you to be a galaxy buster?
And what year did Dragon Ball Super come out?
I don't know. You tell me. I must be delusional again. Because let's be honest, there's the manga and then there's the actual anime. So yeah, help me out with that part.
Hold on, let me do that.
Because unless they say the same thing in the comics where they created these multiple wave blasts, then it's like, okay, fine. Then I'll let that go and I'll reposition because I don't really because sadly I don't stay up to the manga, so I don't really know when technically Dragon Ball Super as a manga came out. So yeah.
It was first aired in 2015. That's about 10 years ago.
10 years. This is 12 years ago. So this is 2 years ahead of
the manga came out before Super, right? If they had the material for that. Remember, they based everything off their manga.
Right. So depending how they depict it in the manga before it actually came on TV, that would be the convert. But even then, before then, there is no Galaxy Buster at that point in time of any proof. Unless there's something that we're missing as far as maybe they're using GT or even before C, because there's no proof of that so far, as I know. Unless you would also then consider the fusions of Goku and Vegeta, but then it's like, again, that's not Goku by itself. So this is why I say it's debatable, but it has never been fully established. Unless they're talking about the Super Saiyan 3 form. If they're saying that because the ripple effect, okay, then that's something I can understand.
But remember, they were fighting against villains who could destroy a planet. Let's say Majin Buu for a perfect example.
Oh yeah, that's easy. That's easy. That's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy.
So before the super part, let's not forget Majin Buu, who was a threat to all universe.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that's Majin Buu though. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they're using that disclaimer based upon their rivals, then okay, yeah, I can understand that. But you got to think about it, because Galaxy Breaker is one thing. Planet Breaker, I can understand, but Galaxy Breaker, that's a whole thing.
But we also remember when Goku was trying to store time for the youngster to learn the.
Okay, that part. Now I understand. When you talking about Goten and Gohan, when Goku they actually ripple effect, that when they scream and did that ripple effect portal, yeah, definitely.
When they was teaching Babidi and Majin Buu the power level, this is Super Saiyan level 1. And I hate Goku. No offense, Goku is disrespectful when he does that. Hey, hold on, let me teach you this. This is Super Saiyan level 1. Babidi was like, yeah, whatever. This is Super Saiyan level 2.
Okay, you don't like that one either? Okay.
Okay.
Well, let me go beyond. Like, wait, what are you doing? What is this?
And when he did that, Babidi was taken aback real bad.
Yeah, he got spooked.
Majin Buu was shocked. Piccolo, King Kai, and everybody was like, whoa. Even people in New Namek felt it.
And people, but in freaking was it Mr. Popo or was it someone, not Mr. Popo, but the other guy from Otherworld. He was like, "Hey, look, if you keep going, you gotta freaking rip the planet." Goddamn, I was like,
So when he was going to the level 3, mind you, his power reached beyond the planet Earth to multiple far distant planets in the galaxy. They felt
"Yeah,
his
that was
power
sending
level.
shockwaves."
So when he was going to the level 3, the new dynamic is extremely far away,
Right.
and they sensed it. That's
Now, if
scary.
you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen, for those that are not anime goers, how did that make sense? Well, this starts back to the idea of ki. See, ki is pretty much an aura, right? It's pretty much an aura that is fluctuated to protect said person that has this ki involved, right? So if it's neither the Saiyans, the Z fighters that are pretty much human, it's pretty much that, right? But you have to be focused. So think of it like this: for common goers, think of the Green Lantern and the Lantern Corps, right? They have to be focused to use their powers, right? To be able to construct things. In this case, that's the same with like ki. They have to be focused to focus their ki at all times and have that present, or they're pretty much vulnerable like any other humans.
And the thing is, when he was powered to the level 3, the people on Earth though the end of the world was near at first.
Because it was causing earthquakes and whirlwinds. I mean, whirlpools and
His
wind.
power level was causing tornadoes, earthquake, tidal
Whirlwinds,
wave,
tsunamis,
whirlwind,
possibly
tsunami. The world
storms and
the
electrical
world
shocks.
the world was looking like it's going to be destroyed under Goku powering up, and he was in the air. Mind you, he was not. His feet was not on the ground. He was in the air.
In
Okay,
the air,
they felt his
wave
power
crashing,
in the earth.
everything.
They felt it outside the earth. They felt it far away galaxy. You understand? Yeah, ever understand light speed to get from one planet to a far distant planet that's not in your solar system but within your galaxy. That's a big deal. If they can sense it. Like that Goku? And you were going and Piccolo was like, how far are you going?
To the end of the world.
Piccolo
Break.
was scared. Goten and Trump was like, no, he was like, Goten, that's your dad? Like, that was almost, I'm about to pee my pant moment.
Pretty much.
And that's the truth because when you go super to level 3 and you find out this guy surpassed the person's father, and you're like, Goten, that's your dad? Yeah, I'm not messing with your dad no more. I thought my dad was scared, but your dad is effed up. Imagine
Pretty
two
much.
kids comparing who dad is worse. And Chunk throw the white flag. No, we're not messing with your dad.
Yeah.
I remember one time it happened when lost it, and we're telling we're telling Trunk to hurry up, and he snapped on him. Move it. I was like, shh. And Goku did the same thing with his own son one time when he was Super Saiyan. Told his ass to run. So I think another thing we need to find out whenever they tap into a new power level, as I'm saying, it effed up with their personality. True. So let Wally play the video.
Yeah. So pretty
This is
much, you
20,
guys.
this is 2013. This was
Yeah, this is the first installment of the Death Battle. So we just want to show you guys. This is also going to give a little bit more in-depth intels to a lot of Goku and Superman.
I was pissed.
We also pick and choose, like when they're talking about the information. We also clear up a little bit more add-ons or whatever it is, depending on certain factors. I know David said he has some little gripes between what they stated on Goku a little bit. So yeah.
Born to dying races and sent to brave new worlds, these two alien saviors are legendary.
And everybody wants to know who would kick whose ass in a fight. And I mean everyone.
Goku, the tenacious Super Saiyan.
And Superman, the Man of Steel.
To ensure no questions are left unanswered, we will be acknowledging every official resource for both combatants. Though the original writings hold precedence, no mistranslations allowed. Also, as he was retconned and rebuilt in 1986, we will be examining the modern Superman.
Considering Supes pre-86 could make up new superpowers on the fly and destroy entire solar systems by sneezing, probably a good idea. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Stop shaking your head, David. They're not gonna get to the point yet.
It's just a random guy, really.
Kakarot was born to a low-class Saiyan warrior on the planet Vegeta. He narrowly escaped the extinction of his entire race when he was sent to Earth with a single, simple mission.
Destroy everything! Then he conveniently bumped his head and forgot about it all.
Dubbed Goku by his adoptive grandfather, his life revolves around combat. He cares little for anything else, unless food is involved.
Can I have another bowl, please?
Pause it.
At 12 years old, he was trained by
Pause
Master...
it, please. That was disrespectful. I'm sorry. I can never let go of that part right there. That was so adamant, disrespectful. And I repeat, that's the most abusive. That was the most abusive commentary you could ever do on Goku ever. If I was Goku's lawyer, I would have sued that commentary for defamation of character.
You can't sue. It's truth. It's the truth.
I'm sorry. Remember that I heard that day in 2013? I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to reach out. If my head can go digitize and just grab her neck. Will you say that again? You phrase it one more time?
Oh man, this is
I'm sorry. That commentary, when I heard it that way, I was like, nigga, put some respect on his name.
Oh,
But the way he
my
said
God.
it, the punchline was just like, and look at Wally. Wally was laughing hard.
Because it's the anime, it's the truth.
It's the truth, but you don't have to say it in that way on that format.
Shit, you can't control how people are gonna say it. If it was me, I would have said it whole differently.
I know you could think you're on
got dropped like a freaking dummy baby.
because you're on Vegeta's side. F you.
No, because that's because of your problem. That is just what it is.
Well, I ain't lying.
It's just what it is. That's his problem.
It was a trolling on epical level, and that was comical, and I hated it.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, Peter, but that was I'm sorry. I'm a Goku fanboy, yes, but that was blatantly disrespectful.
Please. It was in the damn anime. It's been written.
Yeah, but not in that way.
Well,
Not in that way.
It's been put in there.
Not in that way.
Hey, people hate me for my statement, so I'm gonna get my laugh somewhere. Goddamn.
Yeah. Okay, when you went in on Tekkaman, Peter got pissed off. But
That's not my. Hey, that's not my
but
fault. I'm not the one that dropped the descriptions.
yours is not worse than this guy.
I don't even know what he exactly even said, but just the fact that she didn't get dropped on his head, that's all I remember.
Rewind it back so you can hear it again.
Oh, you don't want me to write. Oh my gosh. All right.
No, and see how he said it.
Okay. Let's rewind it back, ladies and gentlemen.
Destroy everything! Then he conveniently bumped his head and forgot about it all.
Dubbed Goku by his adoptive grandfather, his life...
That's what I'm trying to say. He didn't say anything. What were you mad that he said ultimately?
Where he just threw it out like he just no, forget it. Let's continue.
What, he just fall and dumped his head on himself?
Where he just did it that way was disrespectful.
Oh, so what so let's say hypothetically, right? You'd rather said in his original thought process, he was pretty much mesmerized into destroying the planet only to fall accidentally and hit his head.
Actually had a concussion. That would be simple. The way he just said it.
Okay. Not understandable.
Revolves around combat. He cares little for anything else, unless food is involved.
Can I have another bowl, please?
At 12 years old, he was trained by Master Roshi in Kame-Sennin Ryu, which pushes a person to superhuman levels.
Complementing his Saiyan biology, Goku's superhuman strength, speed, and senses
I guess that's part of the stereotype.
He developed numerous fighting techniques, including the fast-moving after image and the dragon throw, his trademark grapple.
At 15, he was already so powerful that the only worthy teachers left were gods and a talking cat, but mostly gods! He was only a kid and his power level was already enormous.
It's over 9,000!
Not yet! Okay, now it is.
What, 9,000?
False! In the Japanese manga, Goku's power level at that time was 8,000. But it doesn't even matter because power levels are absurd. The entire point of...
Who did that? This is different from the original that I saw. They did some extra add-on to this.
I don't know what video you saw, but this is their version.
You know what? We need to strengthen the Goku fan club so you let them know we go start swinging people left and right. What's defamation? Oh, sorry.
Oh, Lord, defamation. Get out of here.
Introducing them was to show how unreliable and meaningless they were.
No,
by relying on power levels, the villains constantly
had...
underestimated the heroes.
Correct.
Therefore, using them to judge Goku's abilities is pointless. Besides, the Daizenshuu says that...
What now?
The official Dragon Ball Encyclopedia. It states power levels eventually become immeasurable. Not because they are so high they can't be measured, but because the characters, and hopefully the audience, have realized just how futile these numbers are.
Exactly.
I'm still 10 times stronger than you are.
That may be true, but strength isn't the only thing that matters.
Apparently.
We cannot judge
Because
Goku by his power level, nor can we through power scaling, the theory that he can achieve the same feats as lesser Dragon Ball characters. Goku's abilities are tailored to his personal training and experiences, not to mention anatomy.
I can breathe in space and you can't.
However, Goku does have a knack for mimicking ki techniques.
I only got one thing to say. What Frieza just said, I can breathe in space and you can't. Enough said right there.
Ki is metaphysical, made up of things such as vigor, courage, and being in one's true mind.
It's basically a kind of natural life force energy and is a fundamental component of Taoist medicine.
See, now, you know what's funny? If this was actually explained more better in the anime, this would probably get way more respect. But because it's not, it was just tossed in and bye-bye. This is why I say literally, in anime, Hunter x Hunter, best power system in my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. The manga, remember, Shonen Jump was doing the explanation more. Remember all the magazines that Shonen be having when they're playing the power level?
I know, that's why they just show the clips.
So when they showed that print of Goku power level, now, every night, Shonen would make a branch over here and start displaying on the website. Have access to, on Shonen Jump web, concerning the Dragon Ball power level, so it'll be more clear.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, well, yeah, but even then, at the start of just Ki alone, understand what I explained in Ki versus what they explained was way more different than ever. This is why I said, understand. This is why Ki is literally a toss away power scaling because you didn't even break it down to this format. This is why I literally said Hunter x Hunter's power scaling is probably the best one in the whole anime series. And that's
the world. Hunter x Hunter's power scaling was more understandable. And we're broken down to the place where you can explain fundamental and the affinity of which is stronger than what one version of it.
Right. So this gives like more in-depth detail because now Ki, from this perspective, now you're hearing it, it's way more thought out because it understands how it keeps it. Because if you notice, right? So I remember there was a time when Krillin was like, oh, let's see how strong Goku is. And he threw the rock and Goku's like, Krillin, what the hell was that for? And I'm like, wait a minute, what? I thought you were. And he wasn't focused. So his ki wasn't present. But if his ki was present, that wouldn't have did him the way it did when he threw the rock.
And
That's why I'm like,
that is something
it
like
needs.
that's a good observation because what Goku was training his son to do is to stay into a certain level just like normal. But the key wasn't available, but they were still in that power level. That thing, it's like they made their body be used in that
Right.
power level on a regular.
Right, which is why I said at that point his base now grew equal to that of the Super Saiyan. So where it would naturally multiply it, that base plus multiplier, that would be his normal new base. Because at that point he's already can supersede that.
So when and hit the meta part, even though his Super Saiyan level and then becoming his new base, but he stayed there long enough. Whenever he goes to Super Saiyan, it still multiplies. It's like saying the system is broken.
Which is why I said that the scaling is just weird.
You stay into a certain level long enough for a couple of days so your body can get adjusted to it. You are expanding your power level, so you can expand your base level. And when he was done with that internal, his base level didn't go down; it stayed there. So what messed up about it? Whenever he do Super Saiyan level 1 again, it still multiply. But he do that. He didn't stay in it again like he did the last time. So imagine they keep doing that every now and then at training. Spend a whole year.
Right.
Spend a whole year Super Saiyan level 1. You're breaking the whole scaling to the point whereby it's totally unfair. And remember they say Super Saiyan level 3 is times 4 or Super Saiyan level 2. Level
Ergo
2,
meaning it's 4 times, it's pretty much 400 x 400 of base. Which is why I also add what version of base is Goku at this point? Is he at 3? Is he like 3/4 of Super Saiyan 3, 2/4? Which formality?
Because I remember when he
still has a
when he
hole.
in the world of Kai and he was training, he had 2 ton on him training. And I remember
Right,
another Kai add 8 ton more to make it to 10 ton. And say, all you could do is Super Saiyan level 1, and he was training with 10 ton.
Right.
Just swinging. Not
Right. So pretty much
like
Super Saiyan 1 is pretty much peak human level. Or at least past peak human level.
Well, you need to understand something. You know when you put weight on your wrist, put in 10 ton on your wrist, and you punch it in lightning speed.
Right.
And
that was not just wrist. That was a big wide on the arm. Big wide.
And he punching fast with it and kicking.
And they looked shook when they saw him start doing it. They was like,
no, they both shot in their pants and said, "Oh, we need to go to the bathroom. We'll come back later." They never came back. They walked away because 10 ton weight training for punching.
And let's remind you, before even turning Super Saiyan, he still had them while in the air. He hold them in the air, ladies and gentlemen. That's still impressive. He didn't went down to the ground. He hold them in the air.
When they added 8 more tons, he was going down. He charged up to Super level 1 and act like it was nothing and went back to his training. So if he asked me that question, if he does that on a regular exercising, and we all know when Saiyan train their body, their power continue to explode to another level. This is why when you want to do the explanation of Zenkai boost, it's very confusing.
Exactly. This is why I'm still perplexed how you can do all that training, especially even now in Dragon Ball Super, and yet you still can't perfect even being in Super Saiyan 3. How? Why?
And that's where we talk about the tail issue. Super level 3 is required to have the tail. Find out, originally speaking, they're supposed to have that with the tail.
Right, the original design.
So without the tail, it was limited to how long you can use it and how long the body can get used to it. And what's ironic, we both see it when they went to Dragon Ball Daima. He went to Super level 4 and the tail came out.
Exactly. Because first they had to reach the Great Ape, which noticeably enough, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. Now I don't remember how far the Great Ape form is. Yeah. But think about it. But now think about this in a sense, because if you go back to the Saiyan saga for most of our anime watchers out there, right? We all know when Vegeta went Great Ape, right? Before his got cut off, he was in a vulnerable state when he went back to human. It wasn't like, oh, he was still at a stronger hold between the competition overall. So ergo, he took the high road and left. So which means is being at the grade 8 form, it gives you a different multiplier in a sense of strength, but at the same also in a healing factor at that point. So you got to think to yourself at that point as well, in a sense of a grade 8 golden form or Super Saiyan form, however you want to look at it, right? Before going to before going to Super Saiyan 4, look how that is. Because again, this is why I sit here and said, in my personal opinion, because of stress, it's actually the best form because you're not stressing at that point. You are truly in being of yourself. There is no reach of constantly pushing further your body to where you overclapsing. You're comfortable while beating the daylights out of people. That's why you see those combo moves in the game. They're constantly kicking people left and right. Why? Because they're so comfortable. They were being dicks while fighting in a game.
And here the
Think
thing,
about it. Every
the
time
graded form is a broken form because everyone who can transfer the graded form before Goku had to destroy a planet. And there is new. You want to have a planet full of people. Try to go grade ape on a whole entire galaxy.
And then imagine you had to find yourself had to switch to another planet because 9 to 10 you probably eradicated your resources.
A whole planet full of broken beings, potential to be not only a nuisance to the galaxy, but a nuisance to the deity themselves. So there was an instant when Goku achieved Ultra Instinct. It forced all the God or Destroyer to stand up and give respect to a mortal. Keyword. Whenever they see a God stand up to give respect to a mortal who achieved something that they couldn't achieve themselves.
Which, if you also think about this, 9 out of 10, all these gods were pretty much more order than Goku is, and yet you all been sitting here and still haven't achieved nothing. Okay.
And they've
been
existing more than thousands of years.
Exactly. You're pretty much the last of your race.
Barrett is over 100 million years old. And he was not able to achieve Ultra.
Well, actually, he has achieved. That's why he's the strongest one, actually.
He's stronger one, it up. But he haven't mastered it.
Yeah, he hasn't mastered, but that doesn't mean he can't go into it, though.
Yeah. But the fact that a mortal was able to enter it was forced to stand up and ask his assistant, Whis. That's what I think it is? Say yes. What do you think it is? And he was like, you can see his face was like, he was growling like, I want to say N-word. How you got there before me?
I mean, we all know why, because there's conditions. And sadly enough, Lord Bears and a lot of other people don't have those conditions.
But the thing is, Goku was abusing his body going to that level because towards the end of the Tournament of Power, we were saying there is a backlash for breaking through.
Yeah, because he didn't enter it correctly. That's why I'm saying, like, the way he did it, I mean, I get it, right? They showed it off just to show it off, but he didn't enter it the right way.
We were saying, I wonder how his body going to react to it.
Yeah.
And when it did react, boy, coughing up blood.
Pretty much.
So, remember when he did that Kawakan time 10 over Super Saiyan level God Blue?
Yeah.
And what it did to his body afterward?
Yeah, I think he even went past and did X20, if I'm not mistaken.
X20, doing the Tournament of Power. And that was not enough for Jiren. He had to do the Spirit Bomb, throw it at him. Jiren said, no, you can keep it.
Yeah, he definitely told him to say he can keep it. Now, that's the funny thing because Jiren didn't know this because technically Goku has a habit of sometimes actually absorbing the power of the Spirit Bomb into his own body. Ergo, he sort of had a smart cheat sheet moment
But he did the
where
same.
he had his own secret.
Did the same thing with Barrett one time. Barrett threw a Hakai ball at him. Somehow he absorbed it.
Well, he didn't absorb it. He was able to sustain it.
Sustain him because remember in Super Saiyan Level God mode and sustain the. It's like the thing shrink in him, and Barrett was like,
Oh, you talking about that one? Now, yeah, that one. If I'm not mistaken, he tried to. Yeah, he tried actually within the God form. He tried to contain it, and I think at that point he contained it. But then that was a whiplash.
yeah,
What caused him to lose the original Super Saiyan God form because he expanded.
it knocked him out of it. But the thing is, it was like it was too much. And he did the
Right.
same thing in the Tournament of Power to the point whereby they thought he was gone. But it showed a look on his face that the reaction of him absorbing the spirit bond in his body, it was doing something what it's not supposed to do. How you say the term called force break, a barrier he's not supposed to do?
Yes, or AKA how Hulk is able to break rules that he shouldn't be able to.
So when he came back out, you mean the Grand Prix was like Q was like, wait a minute, how are you able to break to that realm? And mind you, the Grand Prix was studying him. There was no mortal who was able to go into that realm just like that. But the realm of the ultra instinct is not simple to get into. We were saying it over and over. Every time he keep going in, pushing his body beyond it. You know how you work out, you lift weight, when you put your body beyond its limit, there will be a whiplash you will get afterwards.
Yep, a moment of crash, a moment of drops. Yeah.
Goku was was in it for too long. But when almost you get the final blow to Jiren, and he just spit out blood. That's a lot of blood to spit out. That was one.
That
Two.
thing negatively went batshit on him. I'm talking about that.
It wasn't bad shit. It was something that you thought you were gonna die.
Pretty much, but that's what I'm saying. Cause like if you think about it, the way how it showed the moment, the split moment where he cracked, I'm
And
like,
the pain. Looking at his facial expression and the pain, you can tell that level.
yeah, because
And
because you can tell like the presence of Ultra Instincts. It sort of like was sort of telling Goku at that point in time, "Hey, I don't know how you got here, but get the freak out."
and when he got pushed out of it, if I was there, if you were there to hear the level of the scream, that scream would have been deafening.
Yeah, the agony was not beautiful.
You saw Black Lightning, you saw his body twitching, like he had no control of his body anymore.
Yeah,
To cough out blood,
devastated.
your body is twitching, the shock and the pain, your pupil almost gone.
Just imagine how that would look if we got the original Dragon Ball. That would be. Oh my goodness! Oh man, son of a gun.
And yet, after all that, still push his body, even though his body went through that.
He put his body all right.
Because that's another.
This is why Majin Buu being in tops was a cheat code and was not permitted.
So, even after the Tournament of Power, he said he have not been able to get back into that level again. So that was a bunch of Zenkai boat that went through. Because there's a requirement for them to get into Ultra. This is why I say this argument going back and forth with Vegeta, no, with Goku versus Superman. This Chi video is able to do a breakdown based on how far Goku was pushing his body. And I believe Namek Saga equals.
Sorry, you missed. You went out a little bit. Say it again.
I believe the Namek Saga of Goku equal to Superman based on this definition, because when I read it from Deep Seek, it's
Yeah, part of his form does equals, not entirely, but yeah, to a degree.
oh.
I already did my research on it. So hold on. Let me make sure I get down to it. Let me see. So okay, so all right, so base form Goku. So put it like this, right? So base form Goku, this would be at the power of Universal Plus, which is post God absorption. So he can fight Golden Era Superman. Post Crisis Superman is an even fight or slight edge to Superman. He cannot beat Rebirth Superman or above. He needs to transform. That's one. If he's at Super Saiyan, he can easily beat Golden Era and Post Crisis Superman. Could be a challenge for Rebirth Superman. That's a close fight. Can't beat Silver Age or Cosmic version. Right? If you're Super Saiyan 2, he can fight Post Crisis Superman and Rebirth Superman. He cannot Silver Age Superman or Cosmic Armor Superman. Okay, all right. And then this, if he's Super Saiyan 3, easily overpowers all Post Crisis and Rebirth forms. Can challenge lower end Silver Age Superman, but more likely gets edged out. High end Silver Age Superman, with infinite feats, would pretty much not be qualified. He would lose. So if we're saying Super Saiyan God form, Super Saiyan God, of course, all main lines of Superman he would pretty much clash with. He more likely would pretty much topple a Silver Age version, but he would have a problem with multiverse level and higher Silver Age versions of Superman. Right? Super Saiyan Blue would land him with pretty much wiping the floor with mostly all of the Supermans, including high tier Rebirth Superman. He would still have an issue with Silver Age on an infinite pushing feats. That type version. Right? Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken 10 up to Kaioken X20. He would beat all versions of Superman non-gods, and of course, even most to some of the Silver Age versions. But he would have problems with Cosmic Armor, Thought Robot version. Ultra Instincts, neither at the Omen or the Mastered version. Now, this is where they said he beats all physical formalities of Superman. Cosmic Superman seems to be even. That's what they're saying. But metaphysical and conceptual Superman, like Thought Robot, he would have an issue. That's what the verdict is as far as the fight, what they would believe how Goku and Superman would deal with each other as far as around the time frames, either which way. But for me personally, this is one thing I will sit here and say, right? Because this is where I also bring back a sort of different thing. Because again, this was before, of course, they mentioned Master Instincts. At least this form mentions it. But as far as this video, right? Because this video is going to show something different because they haven't reached that part yet. This is throwback. But one thing I will sit here and say that is a thing, because again, I haven't known too much of how fast or how movement, but there's a reason why I wanted to bring this video, and I'm actually going to sort of jump in a little bit. Or actually, I'm going to let it play out. There's a reason why I want this video to play, because for those that may not know a lot in depth of Superman, like I didn't know in the comics version, you actually learn a lot more about Superman, which actually point out a lot of things. If you think Superman's just a brawler, that's a lie. It's a lie.
Isn't it martial arts? Oh, and it's not magic.
Dragon Ball creates a very distinct difference between ki and magic. Ki is dependent on the physical ability of the user, and magic users like Babidi are clearly using something different. Goku harnesses and manipulates his ki energy
into badass lasers and stuff, like ki blasts, energy barriers, and the Destructo Disc, which he totally stole from Krillin. The solar flare blinds opponents, and the spirit bomb puts energy from other things into a giant death ball that takes friggin' forever to make.
And energy taken from sentient beings must be voluntary. The spirit bomb is fueled by positive energy, which is only effective against those filled with negative energy, aka evil. In the Super Android...
Understand, only good against evil, ladies and gentlemen.
13 film, Goku actually absorbs the ki gathered from the Spirit Bomb, becoming one with it, transforming and manipulating the energy himself.
But his two best moves are the Dragon Fist, where he supercharges his punch with a golden ki dragon, and the one and only Kamehameha, a giant focus beam which every kid in the world has always wanted to do. Don't lie, you've tried it.
Goku also uses ki for telekinesis and high-speed flight. He can even sense the power and location of other ki sources, then teleport directly to them with instant transmission.
Which is light speed!
You dematerialize and travel as a mass of light.
Again, false. This is
Okay.
Intertransmission, he move in light speed. He battle, he move in light speed. He battled certain villain whereby the level of speed they were going at the speed of light, meaning.
Well, isn't that more so teleportation than instant transmission? Because instant transmission is this part of focus.
Yeah, he can go to anywhere with the speed of light. Meaning.
Right. As long as a focused target.
That is correct. And that speed is. I remember one time when Barry told him, "You don't need weed to travel when you can travel faster than weeds."
But notice also, there's also a connection within length. Because one thing just to try to lock on, is also a connection of length as well, which is also a hard thing. Because again, if Goku didn't power up the way he did in that Resurrection F when he was trying to teleport back, he wouldn't have been able to get over there.
That's true. That was Gohan did that.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. This is more sort of a teleportation, not a teleportation, but an instant transfer of moving from one place to another, not more of a fighting technique. But, well, in a sense it is, but it comes in different measurements. But yeah.
This is another mistake in translation. According to the original manga, instant transmission is, well, instant. Its only flaw is that it requires concentrated focus.
Right.
It's no good. I can't concentrate.
Also, he can read minds.
Wait, what? Is there no limit to this ki thing?
There is. Goku draws from a finite pool of ki
And this is why I said Goku's not incredibly an idiot.
energy. So to increase his power, Goku perfected the art of Kaioken. This amplifies Goku's ki, multiplying his strength, speed, defense, and so on.
Only one problem. It puts a giant strain on his body and could even kill him.
Kaioken times 20!
But Goku does not have to rely.
But let's get real though. It's probably the greatest thing that ever happened to him, because without it, he would have never been able to beat Frieza without it. And when I say that, because let's be real, without that form, he would never be able to train at a condition that he was able to train before reaching Namek, able to get to a certain power level that he got to. Ergo, meaning, without Kaioken, Goku would have been a sitting duck with a probably times 50 power level of base, which would have got him undercapped under Frieza. Which still they would probably pot armor anyways, but nonetheless.
Very, very true.
Solely on his ki, he wields the Power Pole, a magical staff which expands and contracts.
When he's hurt, eating a sensu bean heals him up. And to get around, he rides the Flying Nimbus, a flying cloud which probably tastes like cotton candy.
Still, the Kaioken was Goku's trump card for some time until a fateful battle with the tyrant Frieza, who pushed Goku past his limits to achieve the legendary form of Super Saiyan.
There are 4 different levels of Super Saiyan, each drastically boosting his power.
Like the Kaioken, each
Okay.
form does burden his body.
Real quick. So the grade 8 actually boosted times 10. So, okay, so if Vegeta was like 18,000, like you said, right? At the point of the Saiyan saga times 10, he would pretty much be 1,800K.
He was 8,000, right?
Say he was 8. No, I'm talking about Vegeta, not Goku.
No, Vegeta base form what? 8,000.
You say it was 8,000? I thought you said it was 1,800. I thought you said it was
18,000. With 18,000 times 10, be 180,000.
Yeah.
10 level is times 50.
Right.
Level 2 is times 2 of Super Saiyan level 1.
Pretty much X 100.
Then 3 is 4 times the level 2.
Or in this case, you could say, well, yeah, Super Saiyan 2. So that means times Yeah, X 400. Yeah, 400. Yeah.
400,
And then of
right?
course Super Saiyan 4 is 3 times that of Super Saiyan 10.
Oh,
Ergo, oh
10
sorry, no,
times.
it's 10 times that of Super Saiyan 3. Sorry about that.
So 400
So
times
pretty
10
much
is
that would
what?
be 1,200. Yeah, 1,200x of
Oh,
that power.
so 10 times Super Saiyan level 3, that means 10 times 400. 400 million. That's not 40 billion?
Yeah,
So when
4,000.
you
Yeah, 4,000
multiply Goku base by 40 million,
for whatever that is at that current time frame.
that's that's scared don't make no sense anymore. It just
But this is what I'm saying, because think about it. Even in the sense where he had to transform into the Great Ape. So think about it, right? If the Great Ape is times 10, and you are taking the golden form, whatever that looks like in multipliers, if that's by first stance, however you want to look at it, times 50. So you're pretty much at that point, the Great Ape plus Super Saiyan, as far as what we're just looking at from a
and here
visual
the
sense,
thing.
is pretty
We
much
recall doing the cells.
times 500.
Remember, we recall doing the Cell Saga. He was staying in within level 1 for a very long time. His
Mm,
full superpower sitting at his base form.
yeah.
So every time he does that, he expands his base form. So based on the time he achieves within level 4, his base form would have been past the level that you expect it to be.
More
Put that,
cases than that, yeah.
when you put that in perspective, that is Galaxy Buster to within level 4. So it was already Galaxy Busters already because you were beating Majin Buu with that one. You were slapping Majin Buu with it. Probably was afraid that Majin Buu wouldn't survive. It was like,
Wish he still did.
it's still there, but I hate to say that Majin Buu ego was flawed after that. So he was like, wait a minute, I thought I was untouchable. This dude was slapping me.
Well, yeah. But the only problem is with, because you got to think about it too, though, right? The biggest thing that was the biggest problem with Majin Buu, as far as the first stunt, right? Because we also have to know Majin Buu is a formality of both good and evil. Because technically, he still has one of the Elder Kaisers Zorb
Absorbing
as
him.
he does, so he's not fully the original Majin Buu
And
as we
based
know.
on Dragon Ball Daima, he was created to be pure evil. But who created him, created based on a particular element, whereby he was literally uncontrollable.
Right, which is why, as you noted in like when we went to the Buu saga, when they got to AK Super Boo's like, oh, you did something wrong. No, no, no. Why did you separated me? Oh, this is about to go down. No, and he was pretty much afraid because he knew he didn't want to go to the other form.
Out
Because
of
at that point, that was over. It was
its
over.
other form didn't have a personality. Its other form was
Was a diabolical motherfucking walking negating child, aka Chucky on steroids. That was too much of a
no,
problem hazard.
that one was Son Chucky a million times over. So this is not how you be a terror. This is how you be a terror. Because he was taunting people. Literally. The fact
He wasn't the smartest mofo, but he was the dangerous mofo.
he was so egotistic. If you're not a threat, he'd sleep on you. Literally he did. He was like literally
He will be bored with you in an instant moment.
until he fed up with you.
Right, because the moment you get him too aggravated, that's when he starts to get pissed.
And when Goku went to Super level 3, but then he realized he had a challenge. And Vegeta had to admit it. Like, dude, while he was watching them fight, and no offense, Goku went beast mode, and literally a beast mode. You're biting Majin Buu? You're going to a biting match? Like,
Well, he's pretty much like candy and chewing gum.
and then this is why I say, when you look at his power level, based on what the base form they're at, his scaling can be abusive.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what bait they, even if they expand their bait and they increase their bait to that next level, to that further level. Let's say his base form was 300 million already. Apply this to that.
No, yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is all conditional. This fight between the two is very conditional because there's a lot of factors to this. But let's try to finish this off because, of course, we're about to hit our limit. So let's get it out the way.
All right.
Though Goku has trained to minimize this.
Super Saiyan 3 multiplies the already combined power of Super Saiyan 2 by 4, but comes at a horrible price. That hair. Oh, and it pretty much destroys his body while he's using it. My God, the hair!
Fortunately for Goku, the life-sapping Super
That's why I got an issue with that commentary. I'm sorry to all the bald-headed, short-headed, which can then grow their hair. I have an issue with it all day. Leave the hair
Hey,
alone.
man, Craig, this was going to be one of those special days, man. This is going to be one of those special days. If you got to leave, we
You
understand.
can leave, but this is where I have an issue. You talk about the hair. F the hair. Go to the hair club for men and get some.
Lord,
To you.
mercy.
Super Saiyan 3 form would be trumped by his final transformation, Super Saiyan 4. This form alters his body to better endure the 4,000 times power increase.
Complete
Exactly.
with pink fur and eyeshadow. Fear the ultimate form.
With
The
each transformation,
ultimate form.
minus full power Super Saiyan 1, Goku loses some self-control, becoming more violent and instinct-prone.
When I'm at this power level, it's hard for me to listen to reason.
Now, I ain't going to lie. This is why I say Super Saiyan 4 is the GOAT. The GOAT. This is the only time I really, truly respect it.
And he
Because this is the GOAT form.
and they said when they're in that level, it's hard for them to listen to reason. They're more vicious.
Because it's literally a fusion between it and the Great Ape. Like, it's the perfect combination. This is why I'm saying this is probably the best form ever. This is why I don't. This is why I just cannot favorably stand on what Diamond did because that is some bull. You took the integrity of the form and throw it away like it was
You're
nothing.
told there'll be more anime coming soon, hopefully next year. You'll wonder
Yeah, we'll talk about that on a whole later pitch. But
we'll see what they're gonna do with this. Because this is gonna be more argument until they fix it.
man, there's a lot of people talking on the internet. They're talking about, oh, are we gonna get these characters now? I'm like, don't do it. No.
Because you have different arc in the manga that haven't done the what a Goa arc or whatever they want to call it.
Man, forget the arcs. People are over here asking about other freaking versions. They're asking about Dragon Ball AF. They're asking about Dragon Ball Heroes versions, characters. I'm over here like,
And I'm hoping they give this guy a job. Don't call me Hodge. So he can join the team so at least he can make some. Hey,
we'll see.
I just lose control.
Goku's greatest strength is his tenacity and never give up attitude. He does not fight to defeat others, he fights to defeat himself. However, this may also be his greatest weakness.
He prefers a fair fight, eager to see his opponent's maximum potential.
He's about to reach his maximum. This could be your last chance.
I want him to reach his maximum.
Real quick, I wanted to put this into perspective. For all of you that will sit here and say, this is why I blame Vegeta for letting freaking Cell get to his perfect form. Prime example right here why you can't. Prime example why you can't blame him technically. Because even Goku would have let it happen his damn self.
think by the same bloodline, they have a severe lust for battle. It's in their DNA. But imagine having a planet full of battle-lusted individuals like to go down battle and inch of their life, if you heal them up, power may multiply. Imagine you build out an army full of overbroken individuals lust for battle. You're not stopping them. I mean, a nuke bomb will touch them anymore. Like, ooh, tickle.
Pretty much.
I want to fight him when he's at his best.
But when the whole world is at stake, well, hindsight is 2020.
And although he's more than tough enough to survive in a vacuum, he clearly needs oxygen, so no breathing in space.
Plus, well, Goku's not very bright. Despite some basic schooling from Roshi, Goku has never had a day of certified formal education in his life. It took him years just to learn how to drive.
But why the hell would Goku need to drive a car?
Even so, Goku understands his weaknesses.
Ladies and gentlemen, again,
It's something that we trying to.
just because you don't know how to drive does not make you stupid.
But my question: why do you need to drive? It will happen when you're married to a woman who don't understand your ability. You know how to drive? You will carry the whole damn supermarket to where you live, and why you need to drive?
To him, a formal education would just be a waste of time. He is already a genius when it comes to martial arts.
And even if he does get the hell beaten out of him, he improves with every fight.
And that is what Goku is all about. He thrives on becoming stronger and bursting limits, and has overcome every obstacle in his way.
Even marriage.
Goku might just be the greatest martial artist in fictional history.
Oh my gosh.
Marriage is a prison because if he around Chi-Chi, he cannot train. He has to psych her, trick her, bribe, aka what I mean bribe.
Or do some farm work.
Bribe we cannot be cheap. You can't give Chi-Chi 50 grand. She will slap you. Multiply by 10. But I'm not gonna last long. She'll come back again.
See, that's why Goku's in the woods. See, that's why Goku's in the woods, because he always does what? He always goes out and fetches his food and brings it back home.
This is why I think Chi-Chi is worse than Bulma will come to.
Well, of course, because Bulma's the one bringing the cash. She can't be mad.
So he didn't survive marriage. He still got time looking for the loophole, how to get out of it, do what he want to do. But if it's not enough,
No. He's a survivor, all right. He's a survivor. He just, yeah, he's a survivor. He's a survivor.
What are you? I am the hope of the universe. I am the answer to all living things that cry out for peace. Allied to good, nightmare to you.
My son was in the bus. He saw what Clark did.
Kal-El was born to a high-class scientist on the planet Krypton. He narrowly escaped the destruction of his home world when his father sent him to Earth with the goal of preserving human life.
Well, what a coincidence! Except for the whole saving human life thing. After landing on Earth, he was found and raised by the Kents, who decided to name him Clark. And weren't they surprised when they found out he was an alien with superpowers?
After discovering his true heritage, Clark refused to accept his Kryptonian side. He subconsciously developed mental barriers that blocked him from attaining his full power, which he would work to uncover throughout the rest of his life.
Stupid power-limiting brain?
After graduating college in 2 years and traveling the world as a secret superhero, Clark moved to the city of Metropolis as an investigative reporter, and donned the red and blue to publicly announce his presence as the Superman, defender of truth, justice, and the American way, until he renounced his American citizenship.
Mild-mannered Clark kept his identity a secret with the brilliant disguise of nerdy glasses and
I can't keep on. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep going.
proving that people only see what they want to believe.
Boomstick, that's surprisingly profound.
Since then, his power's been pretty inconsistent, mostly due to the writers doing whatever the hell they please.
Well, there is a legitimate explanation. Superman's...
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I have to pause real quick. I have to pause a little bit of it. Hold on.
The writers doing whatever the hell they please.
Well, there is a legitimate...
So, when people say that Superman can't fight while fast and speeding, this is a prime example of this. Fighting fast while speeding. So he can't do it. Which is why that article earlier, debunked.
Explanation. Superman's powers are dependent on the ultrasolar rays of the sun. By absorbing yellow or blue sunlight, his power rises. However, he cannot absorb sunlight from a red star. So,
real quick, right? If you notice right here where it says this, yellow sunlight increased powers from 2,700K to 5,500K. So, and remember, the closer he gets, the more power he absorbs. Now, of course, with red light, the lesser his power becomes. And in blue, he gets a close to an equivalence of a certain power, but with new abilities, which alters his powers.
If you take away a yellow sun, you slowly take away Superman's powers.
He's solar powered! They call him the world's first superhero, but sounds more like the world's first hippie to me.
Now, the intensity of solar radiation disperses the further away it gets from its source, so the closer Superman is to the sun, the more solar radiation he'll absorb.
So he gathers more power the higher he gets? He is a hippie!
In the Justice League series, Our World's at War, Superman actually spent 15 minutes inside the sun. When he resurfaced, he was powerful enough to effortlessly move planets.
He can also hear sounds millions of miles away, see through anything but lead, and spot things moving faster than light.
He can see at a subatomic level and hear through the vacuum of space. Somehow. He can even see your soul.
What?
It happened.
Well, weird abilities aside, Superman can freeze his enemies in ice or create hurricanes just by breathing. And to top it all off, he shoots laser beams from his eyes.
His heat vision can be expanded to encompass anything within Superman's sight and reach temperatures hotter than the sun.
He can incinerate entire planets in a staring contest.
However, heat vision does drain his solar power much faster.
I did say this earlier, it will drain his powers, which is why he needs to not use it that much. This is the crypt to his powers. So yes, which is why he needs to, when he does overuse it, he has to go recharge in space to go reset that back up. Or go to a secret domain where he can get a laser beam nicely attached to him.
Or
than any other ability.
Or stay close to the sun.
Yeah, he can get close to the sun.
They keep shooting it.
Which, if anyone out there watched the movie where, he pretty much, nice coordinates, drill the sun back to his body while you heard him perpetually screaming, which honestly, I didn't love that part because that perpetual screaming was an embarrassment. I'm going to just say it's an embarrassment.
Especially when he amps it up. And with precision, heat vision can reach microscopic levels invisible to the human eye.
Heat vision. Focus through your pupils like a scalpel. Instant lobotomy.
Superman can vibrate his body fast enough to phase through attacks, even turn invisible. By vibrating to just under light speed, Superman can use the infinite mass punch. This speed causes the relative mass of his fist to increase immensely and hits with the force of a supernova,
which explodes at a force of 10 octillion megatons. Thanks, fact of the day, calendar.
In comparison, this is the Tsar, the most powerful bomb mankind has ever tested. 50 megatons.
So that punch is like 200 septillion super nukes. That's 24 zeros, bitches.
Superman is not only strong, but a genius with a super brain that can process information thousands of times faster than an average human. He is capable of strategic fighting even while traveling 8 times the speed of light.
He's an expert in disabling opponents through pressure point combat, and once
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in anime, you understand this in the sense of this is what the telling part was. When I heard him say that he has a decent martial arts skill and he's able to touch pressure points, you're pretty much freaking Neji. Just without the you pretty much the palm strikes. When I heard this, I'm like, this is why I said earlier. This is why I said earlier. DC failed Superman. Failed. How are you supposed to be this good and you son of a bitch, you can't make this shit up, dog. You can't make this shit up.
Demons in Valhalla alongside Wonder Woman and Thor for 1,000 freaking years.
He's even learned how to protect his mind from telepathic attacks.
I heard your telepathic shout before, but my mind is protected from anything deeper by a series of psychic blocks.
Best I've seen, too.
He also studied 2 Kryptonian martial arts, Torquasm Rao and Torquasm Vo.
Orgasm what now?
Torquasm Rao is a hard martial art in which Superman enters the Theta state, a real-life phenomenon in which a person becomes extremely receptive to information and instinct. Torquasm Vo is a mental martial art with which Superman can fight off mind domination and illusions, or even counterattack.
In order to master all his powers, Superman needed to break through his own self-created mental blocks.
Pause. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I say research is very important when you understand these developments of these characters. It's not a simple walk of just saying, oh, well, Goku got power level, no. No, because if you understand what just broke down to you, this fight is not going to just be a walk in the park. That's why I sort of put that article real quick, because that article was a little bit fragile as fuck, which is why a lot of people, as far as comments, were blaming that person for being a fanboy more than anything else. Because if you understood what was just brought up to you, this sort of puts it on the telling realms of understanding somewhat of an ultra instinct, in a sense. Not completely, but in a sense. A physical and mental mind frame. And if you understand how Master Instincts work, it's sort of the same thing when Whis explains how it works when Master Instinct is performed amongst the body. Because it's completely without thought. You're just doing. So understanding this is why Goku versus Superman is not an easy fight. It's actually a little bit complex, which is crazy. Which is why I sit here and say, DC, you failed. You failed.
I agree on that argument, because remember, Goku still having. There's so many things they have put on the manga side. He have broke certain level. The only level right now they need to break onto the Dragon Ball manga is to deal with Black Frieza. And Black to the power level is by far broken, because he trained for how many years and put him on power.
He literally walked away and then he disappeared and just trained. But that's the thing I'm still pissed off about. They never say who he trained with, as far as I know.
And here's the thing: the put him on power, the time chamber. These are chambers that time does not go with a regular flow on time. Meaning, the time chamber near then they hide out. 1 day can equal to 10 years worth of training, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be in a time chamber for 1 day. They'll be training for more 10 years in that 1 day.
No, I think if it's
One
the time
1 hour.
no. 1 hour equals about a year's time frame. If we're talking about Earth. Now, if we're talking about Whis, I don't know how that time warps. I don't know how much
that's even worse, because one time they threw them into a realm whereby time does not matter, and they were told to keep,
they can't even use their power ups, because
they
technically
were told to keep the power flowing within, not flowing out.
Yeah.
Imagine being in a. Do what I'm saying, when you get to the deity realm that I'm following mortal realm. Getting power level on a deity realm is literally almost broken.
No, it is.
It's totally unfair, because when they forced Vegeta and Goku to train in that realm, we told them, don't let your power leak out. Keep it in.
Right.
And that was hard for them to do to begin with. All the weight training, even the weight they were using to pass what they did in the Kai. Goku
Beyond. Those couldn't be tons at that point. They had to be beyond tons. We're talking about big boy tanks.
But you were doing 10 tons or something level, and what they were doing.
And then remind you now, they had to do it on a walking path and move fast before they actually fall with the weights. I was like, they know it.
And the weight of that one, if you were to get the scale for that weight, I don't think Hulk can even do that, because they have to force their body. And they were given suits that were extremely heavy.
Extremely. I'm talking about the if one of us would have put it on, we either die or sweat out of fucking conscious. Literally.
And they were moving without powering up. They were in their base form.
Right.
That's why I'm saying both Vegeta and Goku have broken levels. That to scare their power is like, what the point?
But see, that's why I also say here. But this is why I also say, in a sense of even Piccolo with Gohan, you giving them new forms, that's all great. But to sit here and say that these guys, all right, Craig, thank you very much for coming on in. Much love to you. We're about to end the show soon enough. But to sit here and say that Gohan and Piccolo are at equal stands with Vegeta and Goku, knowing that they're not even met with the same amount of
you and I agree on that part, because we had an argument behind
complete bull.
Because what they had to go through on the week training were beyond brutal. Surpass whatever training they did before. And turn on a wrist, on a leg, or do it to a level. That right there, I had to scratch my head. That had to be more than 1,000 tons.
Completely more.
But then in the deity realm, and they train with material that next level galaxy level. And that thing bottled them down. And it was told not to go into super level, but build your strength to lift it off the ground. And they had to walk with it. They were trying to get their body used to it, but we was more like being a ultimate asshole. No, I don't want you to get used to it now. And make the floor start to drop.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's so weird it's for them to just sit here and jump Piccolo and Gohan like it's just nothing. Which is
And
yes.
another thing, Piccolo and Gohan did not have the same training that Vegeta and
Right. Cause I could
one.
like here's one thing, right? I can sit here and say Piccolo is a special case because he's a Namekian.
Okay, I'll give you that part.
So right,
Oh,
so of course there's a different standard on his end from his source of how far it goes.
Gohan, no excuse.
Now see Gohan, his power source, it's just like BS because it's like no, it's like it's just your emotions ramping up out of thin air.
And that's no excuse because here what I'm saying that. Saying that Vegeta and Goku had to go to the anti-realm beyond what they're going to. That's their power skill level is on galaxy level. They're not gonna destroy a whole universe.
Mm-hmm.
He had wiped out 4 galaxies already.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Put that in perspective, 4 have been gone.
Right. With ease. A snap of a finger, pretty much, you can say.
So, with a cosmic being on that level, and it can wipe out universe, and you have people fighting to get to that level, what Goku and Vegeta were doing, but being that even Barrett knew it were a threat, because their genetic allowed them to break barrier that it should be allowed to begin with.
Right. And even to Whis claims, there's even humans that can go past these barriers, which is insane. So it goes to show you no one is exiled, which is why when you hear Whis say it, it's so crazy to me because, of course, everyone already has the belief system that Master Roshi is an easy contender for reaching Master Instincts because he already teaches the fundamentals of it. He already has the fundamentals. The simple sense of having, like, just look at a turtle, right? Because he's pretty much the master of the turtle arts, right? A turtle has a big shell already, meaning if a turtle were ever to leave its shell, it's nothing but flesh, which means it makes an easy target. So think about that.
And the turtle shell is heavy, and he carried on the back.
Right.
What they train in the deity well with Whis beyond that magnitude.
Right. But notice what I'm saying. Yeah, but this is the thing I want to add.
We threw
right?
a question to both of them who competing to replace Barrett as the God of Destroy. Meaning, for him to bring that question up, they were both candidates based on their ability and level to get to that level. And let's not forget, Broly is another anatomy whereby was legendary. That was number one.
Right.
Power was known to be master level to the point even the more powerful destroyer was afraid of.
Right. Because he had
And what we know in the manga, Barrett have been training Broly to control power.
Right.
In the manga, he fought Broly that made Broly go into Super Saiyan level 1 for the first time without losing his temper. That is a scary level. But his base form surpassed Super Saiyan level, Super Saiyan God Blue on both. And
Right. Now, I would say with Broly because he's a broken walking case. Because his original Super Saiyan is way different than the Super Saiyan we know to see through Goku, Vegeta, and
but his
Gohan.
base, because his base form would rival that of Super Saiyan level God Blue.
Well, right, but that's what I'm saying. Like the simple fact that it's already on a whole tier, it goes to show. It really makes you question why is the legendary Super Saiyan, or in this case, what I like to call it Berserk, right? Why is it so unrecognized throughout the rest of the Saiyan race? Because you know what's crazy? Because I was thinking about this, and I think it's because of one of our videos that we did, and I was thinking about a reaction video towards this, and breaking this down, because we understand now that Goku and Vegeta both got kids, aka Trunks and Goten, they instantly got Super Saiyan. So are we to sit here and saying the last of the elders of the Saiyans didn't have the Super Saiyan, or let alone the Berserk / legendary Super Saiyan status, that couldn't pass on their genetics? And then two, let's also remember this, they did this with humans. So why wasn't the genetics easily able to be passed on, even though it's one? And let's be honest, remember this also, Broly's father was not a Super Saiyan. He was just one of the luckies to break over. Ergo, you also have to question who is the frick is Broly's mother, which we'll never know because they never wrote it. They never wrote it.
And it could be a reason behind that, meaning she might be of a particular tribe in the thing that no one put to mess with on it, because they had to banish Broly because his power level was not normal for a baby.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's the thing, though. Even when we say that, I mean, let's be honest. They barely even did. Well, they eventually invited, Bardock and Jin into the fold as far as other mangas explaining the backstories. But we still don't know Vegeta's mother. Why not? There's a lot of things that we know. Like there is some connections to Nappa's parents. That's that short bulky dude with the mustache. They said that that's his father, which it looks like him. So I would believe that. As far as Bardock's crew, that if you know who I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But it just goes to that understanding where if it's sort of bloodline traits, quote unquote, sort of, you have to ask yourself, like, what really makes it tick to get that form? Because you can't sit here and say everyone didn't have it, and then you're going to sit here and say, King Vegeta is from a bloodline where it's passed down of the kingdom. Then why did your father before you didn't have it? How do you get into power?
And why is Broly was a threat to your throne?
So it's very problematic.
But they say Broly at the baby form can destroy the planet.
Oh yeah.
So
Literally.
now you brought him back into the mix and you're training him with weeds, and he after Super Saiyan. Totally scary.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it's very, very problematic because it just doesn't make sense to how he's the only one with this, and there's no background history of anything. Which I find it funny. This is why use the Dragon Balls to revive people, use the Dragon Ball for information, use the Dragon Ball for body part lifting, but you don't use the Dragon Ball for actual backdrop history. Why?
Good question.
This is why I was pissed when finally Piccolo did it, because when Piccolo did it, it was fucking obvious. But it's like, you did it now. This is when you start to do it. Literally, like,
he needed answer, and the dragon let him know about a bloodline that this has been your calling ever since.
He literally could have wished the Dragon Ball to give him the same thing that freaking the Elder Kai of Namek, to do the same thing that he did to Gohan and Krillin that he could do for him. Like,
but the thing is, Piccolo, he's like a Negro. That's why he passing like a Negro. He like to do things he don't know. That just a matter of time before the Dragon Ball said, "Oh, it's about time you decide to ask this question."
and that's what I'm saying. It's so weird. Like, you're connected to the Dragon Balls for a reason. You never thought ever questioning why are we connected? Oh, well, see what had happened was like, and then when they did it in Daima again, talking about the other elder, you know about you heard stories, but you never how.
Piccolo is the son of King Piccolo,
And that's what I'm
and
saying.
King
It makes
and Piccolo had memory of King Piccolo, his father, memory based on information concerning of the other elders who was left in the demon realm. Piccolo
which is
came
why
from
he
the
has some history.
Piccolo is part of the demon realm, and that demon realm have another history that this is gonna be a franchise. They have to start go and start breaking things down more because not just Piccolo, the Kai came from the demon realm too as well.
And this is why it's so problematic, dog. It's so problematic. This is what I'm saying. Like, in the way that they did Daima, this literally changed everything and evaluated everything to the point this could have been so much bigger. But no, it there's so much
And
things
and
missing.
this is why they are saying there will be more content coming up because they realize there have been a level of confusion about the Dragon Ball universe
You're
among the
damn
fans
right.
because they were trying to get that level of like something wasn't adding up. More and more information comes out that it doesn't put things like there's more to this than we expect it to be.
Of course, because now you have to ask yourself another question. Well, since Whis is like a guardian of this whole universe, technically, is demons coming from the demon realm, aka the ones with the pointy ears? Isn't that a bylaw stick?
And the
Because if
rumor
you're
had
willing to think about it, if Whis was willing to tell Trunks, tell Trunks, let alone Boma, and you're fucking up with the time, you fucking up doing some wrong stuff. Don't you think you're being held in contempt by that more? If you're being held in contempt for that, why is that not being held in contempt? Knowing that that's a secret location.
no, we have knowledge of the universe far more than anybody else because God information he cannot freely share unless necessary.
And this is why, if you notice, Whis always sits. This is why people have a fan theory that Whis been knowing a lot of things that's going on while Beers was sleeping.
He was not doing his job. He was just.
Oh no, he was doing his job. He was just letting the course do what it does.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the moment. And here's the thing about it. I believe upon the God, there's an elder God thing going on because we were showcasing something that a particular character have an affinity to, aka you know who I'm talking about. Time skip.
Uh,
Universe 6 performed the time skip.
yeah, the assassin.
That had to do something with time. That means let me know Wee's master is not a regular god. Hola, out of time. Let you know there's more to this storyline that people not
Right. This is
spreading
why
out.
that's why he freaked up on Boma about the time traveling situation. Because you're fucking it up. Which is why it makes perfect sense of why that this is why I said the time travel thing, it changed everything. That's why I'm like, it is so screwy.
It just like the same thing with when Flash when the Flash did it, he created something that he should never have created to begin
Right. And pretty
with.
much
And
Trump did the same thing.
for his sake, it had to be two avatars now. You gotta have the speed avatar and the negative speed avatar. They have to exist now. It had to be a
Right.
balance. Because what he did, he screwed up the timeline whereby it created a mechanism whereby it had to be available only to keep balance. 'Cause if you do it again, man, you have a time rat that cast time time breaking the rules and they kidnap them and make them prison. But on Goku's side of things, Trunk did something that screwed up the timeline that made multiple
Well, not
variables.
just Trump, also Cell too, because Cell going back even ahead of time to save himself and be in preparation, that also screwed it up. Which is why we pretty much, in a sense, we have three layers. The current Trunks timeline, which got pretty much anal fucked. The timeline where Goku's gonna die, and then the newest timeline when everything got corrected.
And you created multiple variables of Goku. They, you two created called Coming Hard for that battle, imagine the different level of Goku, different realm, the power levels. Finding that about it. Because when they did the Dragon Ball Superhero, or Dragon Ball Hero, you see Goku who's Super to level 4, and another Goku who's Super to level God. And they're looking at each other trying to figure out what's the difference. And remember that I pointed out, know this. I'm sure we know that another level to what Goku can achieve. Only if they're gonna do that. Because remember doing the after Dragon Ball Z was done, and then talk about Super Saiyan level 5 will be level like white gray like fur.
Yeah.
When
But
the
that's
people
my
that
thing though. But see, my thing to it though is even to that. That's what I'm saying. Because now of the course of God form, I wouldn't believe that they can just simply go into just Super Saiyan 5, which is why I said bringing back Super Saiyan 4 as a fan service into the current meta, or pretty much making it canon. That's what I'm gonna say. In the current
yes,
canon was a fuck up job, because are we gonna sit here and say that Super Saiyan 4 is only a certain ability based upon a certain living realm?
and he did that. He done it in the demon realm. He didn't get it in the mortal realm.
So ergo
That
meaning
was
he has to be in a different place zone just to do it. But that's the
that's,
problem, because you never mentioned the place zone after the fact went to Whis and Lord Beerus. So again, how do you connect the dots?
this is
Oh, well,
why,
I forgot I can transform into this form. Oh, Vegeta forgot too.
and this is why I said the editor, the former editor Akira Toriyama said he had to come back and clean up the mess, because there's a lot of mess being made whereby something had to make sense of what his ability is.
It is just that's what I'm saying. Like, that'll be another conversation. But hold on, let me get to this part. We're not gonna do the fight because we're a little bit past our timing on this show. But
we all do it.
Like how when he was younger, he believed he needed to eat food and breathe oxygen like humans, when he can really just survive on solar energy alone, like some weird plant man.
And thanks to some intense training from Mongol II, he managed to tear these barriers down and become the true Superman, capable of amazing feats.
Yeah, like when he obliterated an F5 tornado with a round of applause, or when he was the filling for a planet sandwich, or held a mini black hole in his hand. Oh, or the time he dragged the freaking Earth around. Superman has survived some pretty crazy things, like when cold gas hit him with 15 supernovas to the face.
That was like 15 suns exploding in his face.
I just said that.
Exaggeration? Maybe, but he has survived other supernovas before. When he takes a hit, his super dense molecular structure and bioelectric aura protects him and his suit.
Holy crap, he sounds invincible.
Not exactly. His solar energy can be depleted over the course of a battle if he takes too much damage or remains out of sunlight for too long. This is how the monster Doomsday was able to kill him. Oh, sorry, not kill, put him into a healing coma. He also has several specific weaknesses, like the famous kryptonite, radioactive fragments of his home world which bring him to his knees. Any prolonged exposure will eventually kill him. He also has no special resistance to magical attacks.
And he always gets all hung up on doing the right thing, even if it makes his life miserable.
He does not fight for himself, but to protect others. Even the buildings in Metropolis are more valuable to him than his own life.
Right. Explain that.
Most of the time.
Yeah,
The point is,
exactly.
Superman spends more time defending the city than actually improving his own abilities.
But remove all those pesky feelings about saving people and look out!
I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard, always taking constant care not to break something, to break someone. What we have here is a rare opportunity for me to cut loose and show you just how powerful I really am.
All right, the combatants are.
So we
And he did in that clip. He did do that because when he hit Darkstar, it the same impact that Goku and Beerus was doing, but the Barrett and Goku fight was ridiculous. Aqua were going throughout the whole.
Oh, yeah,
And
for sure.
King Kai had to tell Goku, "You need to stop. We keep on." So you might destroy the whole entire galaxy. Just fighting Beerus. And when Goku heard that, he realized, I was like, okay, I know we are pushing it. Everyone in every different planet in distant planet were feeling the shockwave, especially Earth.
Right. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning on in with us. This was pretty much, as much as this was supposed to be a debate, that video alone was the reason why it won't be a debate, because as much as we would sit here and do this, if you haven't really understand those depth lines, people can be very skewed on the battle between Goku and
And
Superman in a lot of ways.
And remember when I bought the chart, they were showing his power
Yeah.
scaling. It kept on increasing, but then it is being exploited because his baseline would never stay the same.
Well, of
It
course,
would never increase his power. And then remember, the multiplier stayed the same. So if his baseline is 1 billion,
right, then of
throw in
course
the multiplier.
yeah, it's definitely going to be different. So this is why, ladies and gentlemen, again, you got to think about. There's a lot of things. There's forms. There's forms. There's different version of comics where it exceeds and all that. Plus, you also got to think to yourself, forms, and as far as within the forms, are they everlasting? Because of course, I would think if Goku can fully, right, when it's fully for sure, comics, manga, anime, when he fully is in perfect formality of Ultra Instincts, can he maintain it for a long period of time where he actually can live in it like Whis? If he can fully maintain it, then of course that can definitely be a different factor within fights in all situations. I said situations.
And there's a chance that we may force to do that because remember, you got the thing called the Black Freezer saga soon coming up.
Right. So yeah, with that said, there is definitely some time where we have to consider these different factor points because they're always going to change. As every single time of these arguments keep on going, they're always going to change. They're going to be different factors.
And put it in mind, Goku base form never stayed the same. Whenever he get a power level, it forces base form capped up. So it's almost like in present time Goku, he's no longer a regular human. Let's leave it like that. Goku is no longer a regular human being. He passed superhuman. So
Say that again. Your mic is on a little low. Say it again.
I say, if you look at present time, Goku is no longer a regular human being. He passed superhuman.
Yeah, he's past that.
So if you were to get a skin of what his base form is like after all the new expansion power level, you'd be like, Jesus.
In most cases, I think with because I say it like this, I say for Goku at a certain point, depending on like if you're talking about this current point, like top base, he's pretty much equal or slightly over most forms of Superman.
Just on base alone.
Yeah, just on base alone, yeah.
But what he had done to his body, and you are taking God, the regular key, and he took in God key. The God key have really changed his body to another different level. That's absorbed. Not just him alone, but Vegeta. And there are many pathways for what they got to take. Now, our issue with you, if you're both Gohan power had to be more properly explained because was never near where his father or his uncle to be at, to jump into beats and be.
Right.
I think that's why the former editor came back because that's a not possible. You don't just skip a huge gap in between based on emotion. The only can get that one too is Broly. Broly's an anatomy himself.
Right. But look, thank you guys for tuning on in. I know we went a little bit over an hour on this show, but it was just some fun stuff.
If we find more stuff, we will post it on the post site or Spot Energy Network.
Yeah, mostly like any links that I had or I had planned for the show, I'll post it in the description when I get a chance. So just
might do a react and recording together to find more detail because right now that the editor of for Kyoto they came back into the fray, there will be a lot of change to be made or clean up need to be made because
if they ever do it.
But right now there's a lot of gap in between that have not been properly explained. If we get access to the Shonen Jump magazine where they explain these power levels, we get access to. We will try our best to get that thing posted onto the channel as well. So
Right.
there'll be an understanding. I think we need to do that. So this way,
Yeah.
all that fan base need to be clear of what the power level is. Scared that we put out with Superman and do the same.
Yeah, we'll
It
try
will
to do a
be
further dialogue if we can. But one thing's for sure, ladies and gentlemen, please, in the comment section, let us know, how do you feel? When you hear this conversation, what is your thoughts and opinion? Who do you think is going to be the winner between Superman and Goku? Give us your thoughts and opinion on that and why. We would love to hear it. And no, we're not going to come in and battle you down on otherwise. No, just come in and drop your people. We
because
just want to hear
this
it.
is something that we take our time into, but this is something we'll be. Anime is not no regular thing. We had to get their full scope, full. Now, what is them? What about them? Or what I think it is? It's based on fact and the creator or the character based by the creator have made. You gotta go based on their standard and their scale. This is why we had the debate which one have the best power scaling, and we both agree Hunter x Hunter able to explain that better
Yeah.
than any other anime because there's no confusion on that.
Right.
That's why
Now,
we
when
have
you
the
listen to the video, of course, Kai was explained more better, which would have been very more in clear depth of how, it comes into play. Because even when you think about the moment when Gohan teaching Kal-El, his girlfriend, how to fly, quote unquote, you understand where key comes in place because now she's able to put that aura around her body, which allows her to actually have flight, which makes that perfect sense.
And he's correct. Superman can fight at the speed of light. They have shown that video. And we have seen it when Goku was done it several times doing the Cell game and beyond that. And he, I can't say exaggeration. When they go into blow to blow fight, it's like a disaster happening because
Right.
the amount of impact, world is shaking when people are fighting that type of speed.
Right. The only thing I will sit here and say as a condition, though, where I will slightly agree with the guy on the article is if he's talking about like how Dragon Ball, characters were to fight in speed as far as appearing, disappearing, all of that, then I would agree at that point because, of course, we haven't seen Superman actually do that to the point of actually moving at that type of speed at that physical standard, right?
And when they go to the next level, clutch and punch,
Right. So just looking at that,
it's earth shattering punch. It's not a regular
right, because he needs pretty
impact
for that though. But yeah, but he definitely has that. But look, real quick, let's get into the other shows, and then we got to get out of here. So we're not gonna hold you guys up no more. Okay, so tomorrow,
past our limit.
yeah, exactly. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, Thursday, we have. Well, I said tomorrow. Actually, right now for me, it's today. But we have paper to paycheck. Sorry, crafting the perfect resume and cover letter. You guys will be with Coach Ferg and Paul Bennett for that show. Then on, I think this is the Friday show, we ask women to value their bodies, but do men value theirs? I'm gonna throw the other quick one. Do they value each other's bodies? Because
I think Wally, you want to come for this show because
I ain't coming to shit. I'm gonna probably watch. I might probably watch after the show, but I'm not coming during. No. With that said, Saturday in the Spartan Arena show, actually it's Operation Hangout show. I'm getting shows mixed up. We got Marvel with DC when universes collide. And then, if I'm not mistaken, is this show the next Tuesday show? Yeah. So, to be announced for Sunday show, which is on the 12th for the gray area, and then on Tuesday we will have nationality versus employment. What really matters? That's gonna be a tough one because I'm gonna just say it like this, ladies and gentlemen. If you have never faced an issue of when it comes to nationality, then you won't never know the other side unless you heard from other people's story and their side. With that said, none the case. But hey, some people will say it's just employment. Others will say there's some fault. But I will say one thing though. If you are with a company that is morally aligned with you, aka what your nationality is, you're more likely to be higher than other people. Let's just keep it real. But last but not least, next Wednesday, which I do not know if I will be there next Wednesday, but I will be making sure I get a lot of the presentations done ahead of time, as fast as I can to send over to David. But we will be having the architects of anime look at the major anime studios. So we are definitely that's going to be a definitely intake. I
That'll
may
be another deep dive. I
right.
think later show we would start doing, we get those specific topics, because this show we went back 3 hours. That lets you know how deep.
Right, because this had to be really explained on the level.
So when we have these type of topics, please forgive us for going past 2 hours, because it's not no walk in the park kind of conversation.
Yeah,
So with anime, it's not simple like the comic books. There's so many factors, so many language behind it, so many measurement behind it, so much scaling behind it. When we get a chance to do the power scale on Hunter x Hunter, then you will understand. There's an affinity issue concerning that,
right.
based on what that may be. On that note, if you watch the rerun after this show, do me a favor, do us a favor. Your comment with your thought concerning the power scaling of Goku compared to the power scaling of Superman. What you think is confusing about the power scaling, and what you think we could have been done clearly. And we will do our best to go deep on anime unlock. No anime is safe, but we want to make sure we clear out the confusion. This is why we're doing this podcast for that particular reason.
Plus, to also
Oh,
bring you guys into the anime world with a little bit of fun.
pretty much. And forgive me for losing my cool when they crap on my boy Goku about he hit his head, and that it was like very disrespectful. I was
Uh,
like, you're not gonna do my boy like that. you just,
oh,
I was just throwing him under the bus moment. I was like, really?
hey, at least they throw they throw Superman on the bus too. They talk about after he retired his African American citizenship. What the fuck?
Yo, that
That
one was
shit was
funny.
hilarious.
That was funny. I didn't see that coming. I did not see that one coming. I thought he was seeing his American citizenship. I'm like, when did that happen? I missed the memo.
Oh, it was hilarious. Oh,
No, this is why I say these type of show is needed. Sometimes there's some monkey wrench in the plot that we overlook. We start to dig in deep, and we were like, wait, spend no more on the American citizen? What country is a citizen of now this time? Which when? You had to follow with the president? What, he's not a Republican no more?
oh man. All right,
Man, it's with
ladies.
the Democratic Party? Hey,
Yeah.
this
But look,
this
ladies and
is
gentlemen, look. It is what it is. This is the show. We can't wait. If you do comment, thank you. We would love to read your
and
comments.
any content creator want to be part of this show, whereby you get the free reign to go in a deep zone of explaining things or pointing things out, please come. Black Boomer, you are welcome. We keep shouting your name a lot of times. I want you to hear your name on this debate, because she's like the franchise queen for the Dragon Ball franchise. Cannot debate her. So, if we have another Dragon Ball Z debate, if you're around to watch the show or around to be part of the show, please come. Anybody want to be part of this conversation? You have your dirt, your information, or your farm based on what you think it might be off, and you have your receipt, bring it. If you know that we will bring a receipt left and right, showing this is what we're doing here. We're not doing it with about bring the receipt, bring the facts, bring the information, so we can clear the confusion. So right now, I be honest, both Superman and Goku is both confusing right now. As we were digging in deep, we were like, okay,
Again, this is why
there might be another episode.
they more like probably might be, but that'll be later on down the line. But again, this is why it's so very conflicting when you look at a video like that, you see that, and you hear that information. Like, wait, what? So okay, I know he was smart. I know he was strong. He had a fighting techniques. He had martial arts. I'm like,
That is new. Imagine
And that's
that.
what
We
I'm
didn't
saying.
know
This is
about
what I'm
that.
saying, bro. DC, I don't know what type of time y'all on, but y'all just making Superman look like a.
And now you see what I say when you have so many different writers into the mix, trying to catch on to everything.
It just.
It's how you say it, a muddy in the water.
Of course, but I mean that's why I put that extension out there before, where Supergirl actually had the training way more than that. That's why she's more brutal. But to even understand it, even at a further extension, that's why I'm like, you can't make this up. You just can't.
And how you think we feel about the Dragon Ball when we had an issue about? We didn't realize Akira Toriyama had an editor who had to make sure he doesn't make the it leave gap into the explanation, which it already did. Now he had to come back after his student passed away to clean up his student mess and
Boy,
clean up whatever.
I ain't gonna lie. I hope I hope sorry, yeah, Toy.
Toyotaro.
No, Toy Animations. I hope they actually help make sure there's an editor, because if he's taking over, don't play these games, bro. Don't play these games.
This is why the going to be within the Dragon Ball character need to be explained how in the world a Gohan beast is on the same level.
They ain't no way they can explain
Goku.
that shit. They ain't no way, no. They ain't no way.
This is why we have our
No
internal
way, no.
fight.
The only way they can explain that, they have, because like they did the movies like Resurrection X, and they made it into actual like episodes. That's gonna have to be explained through episodes, because you have to explain when of what training did Gohan even took.
Bingo.
Because they ain't
We know in depth to be training that both Goku and Vegeta had to go through, and that is beyond brutal. Beyond brutal. And the manga showed that Vegeta went to Universal 6 to see his Saiyan planet and had to train them. So what kind of training did they do over there? There's a lot of things that is not being explained
Yeah,
in the Dragon
but
Ball.
basically what I'm hearing, so from other people, or maybe it should be other people that mention the manga. So what I'm hearing is when Vegeta went over to Universe 6 side, the same leader over there actually doesn't want them to turn Super Saiyan in it because of what he has created or what he has become, in the sense. Pretty much meaning he also too has the Berserk form. But what this is the questioning thing that I have an issue with. You got the Berserk form, and we also know another character has the Berserk form in Universal 6. How much of y'all mofos out there that has more of this form?
Now that being the theory why the Saiyan
And then
planet.
another key added point, the stance that Kaba took where he did this. How do you know that? How do you know that handprint? That's Vegeta's sign print. How do you know the Galagun?
Not only that, they have a rogue Saiyan who considered to be a threat that he's on it. This is why I was saying that a lot of variables need to be explored. Have a lot of gap into who's our level is, what their ability level. Now that the editor come into this fray, they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, because at
They
this
had a
point,
lot. They have to clean up the
there
mess.
has to, like, let's be honest here. I mean, if it's me personally, I ain't gonna lie, I'll tell the whole anime base, Diamond canon, we're gonna do a reboot.
They might have to do no. I think that's the honor. They may have to do a reboot. This time, there should be no more breaks like they did before. All these year break needs to stop. But look at One Piece.
I know that.
They're
Yeah,
consistent. So this means you have more than enough time, more than enough material. Got to do a reboot, break the timeline mess or the power level mess, and explain everything out. Then you got to get what the people want. On that note, we're going too far because when we geek out, we geek out heavy. That's
yeah, we were over the tap hole. All right, ladies and gentlemen, salute to y'all. We'll see
this
you
is
next show.
CBN. This is Wally. Anime Unlock is that type of show. Be safe. Come back next time next week.